Vergne High School on AM 1290 WATO and Tennessee Cablevision Channel 12. The Oak Ridge High School Wildcats and the Oakland Patriots just moments away from getting underway. The Wildcats will be receiving the opening kickoff. And Scott, you have the starting lineups.
I certainly do. Real quick, David, Oak Ridge will be leading off with quarterback Jared Tharpe, running back Greg Adams, another running back Kiki Houston, and another running back Tyler Harris. Center Greg Woofter. One guard is Joey Mingy. The other guard is Chris Hood. One tackle is Chris Layton. The other is Travis Whitson. Jim Hall will be the tight end. Chanson Hall will be the split end. And the place kicker for tonight's game will be Daniel Wetzel.
The ball is being put on the tee as we speak. The Oakland Patriots will be moving from left to right, wearing blue jerseys with silver pants. The Wildcats wearing their white jerseys, red pants, and cardinal numerals. And this football game is about to get underway from Vergne High School. Back to receive the kick, Kiki Houston standing at around the 3-yard line. And the big kicker standing right in front of the tee, and we're about to get underway. And here's the kickoff. High, very short kick, angling out of bounds, and it goes out of bounds at around the 20-yard line. So that's a penalty against the Oakland Patriots. So the Wildcats should get the ball around the 35-yard line. I do believe that's where they get the ball, or close to it, as they'll step the penalty off. Usually they don't put it on where it goes out of bounds. They put it up the field, and that's exactly the case. The ball will be at the 35-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
Well, David, it's already better field position than what they started with last week. If you'll remember, they did, Central came out with that little pooch kick and gave Oak Ridge fit. So this time they, actually Oakland tries it, kicks it out of bounds, but Oak Ridge will take over 1st down from their own 35-yard line.
Chanson Hall's a receiver here to the near side, double wing set. The quarterback is Jared Tharpe. In motion will come Kiki Houston. The handoff goes to Greg Adams, and he has no place to go except backwards. He'll lose about 2 on the play. Big penetration by Scott Spanauer and Wante Verge. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play. 2nd down and 12 yards to go. The Wildcats coming out with the wing T formation. We'll set the offensive line in a minute as the Wildcats come to the line, which is now the 34-yard line. 2nd down, 11. The receiver to the far right is Nick Crow. The wing backs are Tyler Harris, Kiki Houston, and Greg Adams is the tailback. Jared Tharpe rolls to his right, has plenty of time, dumps it down the field, throws it, intending it for Kiki Houston, just a little bit overthrown. That was open there on the right flat there, but it'll be incomplete. 3rd down, 11 yards to go.
Well, he was open, David. They just ran a little flare out where the wing back Houston just kind of goes out in the flat. Looks like Jared Tharpe maybe a little bit nervous. It's always hard to throw that first pass, but overthrows it just a little bit. Brings up looks like 3rd down and right at 11 yards.
Probably those of you back in Oak Ridge are listening to loud music in the background. We are broadcasting from the stands, and we'll explain the reason for that here in a few short moments. Wildcats 3rd and 11. Tharpe rolls to his right, looks down the field, goes back across the field to Kiki Houston. He's at the 40. He dives forward. It will be short of the 1st down. Looked like he tried to dive or either lost his footing. He short of a 1st down. The Wildcats will be forced to punt.
Well, David, that's a great play. It's the first one I've seen that. Actually, the quarterback faked to one of the running backs and then sprinted out to his right. Well, Houston, the guy who he actually faked to, kind of was over here on the left side, and it was almost like a little throwback. Once he accelerated, looks like his legs gave way with him just a little bit and was a little short of the 1st down.
Daniel Wetzel gets a long driving punt away, and the man goes down at around the 12-yard line. So great punt by Daniel Wetzel. No return. The Patriots will start the drive at the Oakland 12-yard line as we're broadcasting here from the stands. The press box up here was they weren't going to accommodate our coaching staff. They were going to make them sit in the stands, so we gave them our booth to allow them to do what they need to do, and we're broadcasting from basically out here in the stands.
Well, the coaching staff should be really thankful that it's a beautiful night out here and not rainy and cold, because I think I'd rather be inside.
Here comes Oakland to the line. 1st down, 10 yards to go. Just underway. 1st quarter action. 10:45 to play. 1st period. Scoreless ball game. From the I formation, they'll come. Receivers left and right. 5 men on the line for the Wildcats. The quarterback will hand it off to the first man, who's hit right at the line of scrimmage, has no place to go. Travis Whitson, along with, Rocky Remine. And they are there for the stop. It'll be a gain of about 2. 2nd down and 8 yards to go. The ball is at the 14-yard line of the Oakland Patriots as they move from left to right as we broadcast from their home side. Well, it's not really their home side. It's Vergne's home side, but we're here on what I guess has been designated as the Oakland home side. As they come to the line, single receiver here to the near side is number 13 for them, Desmond Rhodes. Single man to the far left, the straight I formation once again. Knight's the quarterback. In motion will come their tight end. He drives, moves to the left side, and sets up in a wing position, and a flag goes down on the play. Interesting looking play as he kind of turned the way he was going in motion. Just an interesting way he went in motion. I can't really describe it.
Well, if you'll notice a lot of times the pros, when they go in motion, they'll stop either behind the guard and square up to the line, and actually like they're going to block or come forward. That time it looks like Oak Ridge was caught being offsides, and as he's going in motion, he'll stop and square up, so you don't really know if the ball is going to be snapped. Looks like it threw Oak Ridge off a little bit, as that brings up about a 2nd and 3 now.
9:51 and counting. Here come the Patriots to the line. First down, 10 yards to go from the I once again. Up to the line they'll come. The Wildcats 5 on the front. Handoff goes to the tailback. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and driven back at the 20-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about a yard or so to go. One thing that Oakland traditionally liked to do back in the glory days of Oakland football, they like to keep the ball on the ground. They really were not a very dynamic offensive team. The ball's at the 20-yard line, and now we're on Tennessee Cablevision Channel 12. As the ball's at the 20-yard line, Oakland with it 3rd down, a little bit more than a yard to go. 9:15 and counting, first quarter action. The Wildcats and the Patriots. Up to the line will come Oakland once again. Receivers to the left and to the right. Their quarterback under center, number 11, Robbie Knight. He's an 11th grader, and he drops back to pass. Rolling to his right, looking down the field. He's covered closely, moves the ball forward. He'll be decked at the 19-yard line. He will not pick up the first down. You would have thought, Scott, that they would have just ran the ball for the yard that they needed. He does not pick up the first down. He did get a pretty good spot, but he'll still be short by about 2 yards. It'll be 4th down, 2 yards to go, and Kiki Houston will drop back to receive the punt for the Wildcats, and Oak Ridge should get great field position.
Well, they should, David. Lots of times on a 3rd and 1 like that, especially when you have an athletic quarterback, you'll roll him out, especially most of the time to his right, and let him take a real quick look. If a man is open, to go ahead and throw it, but if not, go ahead and tuck it up. That time the quarterback was just a little too slow making his decision.
Here's the punt. It's high, wobbly kick. Kiki Houston fields it at the 44, to the 45, to the 50, and that's where he is tackled. So the Wildcats will take over right at midfield. First down, 10 yards to go, and the Wildcat offense back out on the field. So good job for the Oak Ridge defense, as usual. And let's see what the offense can do on their second series. Jared Tharpe is the quarterback for the Wildcats. Jared is a 6'1", 181-pound junior. Up to the line will come Oak Ridge. Drifting off to the right side as a receiver will go Chanson Hall. Double wing set once again, Houston and Harris comes in motion. This fumble snap, Jared has to fall on it at around the 48-yard line, pulled away from it, and the Wildcats will lose 2 yards.
Well, that's the first time I can remember Oak Ridge doing that this year. They may have done it one other time, but generally, games, things like that, fumbles between the center and the quarterback will generally happen in the first 1 or 2 games. So it's kind of a little bit surprising that would happen this late in the season already, even though it is the 3rd game.
7:50 to play. We're in the first quarter of a scoreless ball game. The Wildcats 2nd down and 12. Backfield split this time. Man in motion will come Houston here to the near side. Handoff Tyler Harris. Harris tries to get outside. Will not. Will be hit right at the line of scrimmage by number 6 for them, Rico Hathaway, and he'll lose yardage for the Wildcats. It'll be 3rd down and 12 yards to go. And while we have the opportunity, we'd like to send our condolences and our sympathy to Matt Spangler, a member of the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats who has suffered a loss in his family, and our thoughts and our prayers are with you. He's sitting back, I guess, listening to the ball game back in Oak Ridge, and our thoughts and prayers are with him. Up to the line will come the Wildcats. 3rd down, 11 yards to go. Once again, Jared will pass, lots of time. Now might run, has plenty of running room. Cuts it across the 45, drives forward. Still is going to be about a yard short of a first down. Obviously good coverage because Jared had all the time in the world to throw the ball, but elected to run because he had nobody open. And the Wildcats are short. It'll be 4th down and about 2. And I think where the ball is on the field, well, here comes the punt team. They're just going to back them up just a little bit. It'll be 4th down facing the Wildcats, 4th and 2.
Well, it's a good decision that time by the quarterback, Jared Tharpe. He had all day back there. Great pass protection. Just couldn't find anybody open. And they're just about a yard short, maybe a yard and a half short of the first down.
Wetzel with the snap. Here's the punt once again. He angles it high. It's going to be a fair catch signal for it, but it's going to roll to the 5-yard line and will be downed again right at the 1-yard line. The Wildcats, great job covering the punt. And almost like we saw the other day, they almost slid it into the end zone. But this time it goes down at the 1-inch line. So that's where Oakland will take over. First down, 10 yards to go at the 1-inch line.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better kick that time, David. When you're punting, on a case like this, you don't want the nose of the ball to turn over, and actually it stayed up, and as soon as it hit, it took about probably about a 10-yard bounce, and then almost died, and then a couple guys hustling down there killed it, and it's the Oakland Patriots have a long way to go.
Up to the line will come Knight, their quarterback. This is their second drive of the night, starting at the 1-inch line, as I mentioned. From the eye, the quarterback sneaks the ball forward, gains about a yard. Not much more than that, maybe 2. It'll be second down, 8 yards to go. Joey Mingy, 6'1", 181-pounder on the stop, along with Rocky Remine. It'll be a gain of 2. Second down, 7 yards to go. 6 minutes to play. We're in the first quarter here on AM 1290 WATO. Nathan Forbes is our engineer back at the station, as the Wildcats defensively have, let's see, Wiseman and Watson as defensive ends, Jordan and Whitson on the line of scrimmage. The linebackers are Mingy and Rocky Remine. Their quarterback, Knight, back to pass, goes down the field long. Here's the man. The pass is well overthrown, incomplete. It'll bring up third down and 7 yards to go.
Well, the quarterback showed a pretty good arm that time, David. It looks like they just ran a streak wrap pattern where the receiver on this right side just takes it straight down the field, or the old long bomb. Covered very well that time by Kiki Houston. The ball was overthrown about 10 yards and brings up third down and 7 from about the 3-yard line.
And once again, the play being shuttled in and out of the ball game by the receivers. Out will come, looks like number 13 for the Patriots, Desmond Rhodes. 5:37 to play. We're in the first quarter. It's third down and 7. The ball is at the Patriot 4-yard line. Knight under center. From the eye, he'll come. Receivers left and right. This time he'll run the ball himself. Tries to get to the outside. Has no place to go except down. He is buried at the 5-yard line. So far it's been a game of field position as John Massey and company there for the Wildcats to make the stop. Great defensive series there. Of course, when you have no field position like that, it kind of limits what you can do offensively. The Wildcats, another great series defensively, and they'll be punting from the back end of the end zone. The Wildcats with Kiki Houston standing back at the Patriot 40-yard line. Once again, they'll be punting from the back end of the end zone. 5:05 to play the first quarter. Scoreless ball game. We're on AM 1290 WATO. Here's the snap and the punt. Gets it away. It's a knuckleball. It's short. Kiki fields it and fumbles it, and they've got it at the 37-yard line. And so that's how you get out of trouble. The Wildcats turned the ball over as it was kind of a knuckleball, and Kiki just couldn't hold on to it, and they are out of trouble. They'll start this drive after the fumbled punt at the 32-yard line.
That's a tough break, David. As soon as he kicked that ball, you could see that ball was, if you ever watch baseball, you know what a knuckleball does. It moves everywhere. It's out of control, basically. That time, Kiki Houston, it looks like he had it and just kind of went through his arms, and they picked it up for basically, a gain of about 30 on the play.
Once again, receivers to the left and to the right. The Wildcats and the Patriots, scoreless ball game just underway, 1st and 10. Knight back to pass. Once again goes down the field long. There's the pass. It's caught, and he'll take it in and score. Touchdown, Oakland. They take it in with number 3, that's John Todd. Kind of a pass up for grabs. Had single coverage out there. Robbie Knight threw the ball, hit him, and into the end zone. They take it. So after the fumble, Oakland comes right back, and they put one in the end zone. 6-0 our score.
There's a good throw, good catch. You can't say a whole lot about that. The quarterback just winds up the arm, throws it straight down the field on a streak route. It's the second time they've tried that already, so obviously they've seen something in the films. The receiver got behind one of the defensive backs, and that's all she wrote.
And into the game to attempt the extra point will come the Oakland Patriot kicker. 4 minutes, 41 seconds to go. The kick is up, and the kick, it is good. So time of the field, our score, 4:41 to play in the first quarter. It's 7-0. The Patriots lead, and we'll be back in 60 seconds. And the Oakland Patriots about to kick off. The Wildcats trailing 7-0. 4 minutes, 41 seconds to play in the first quarter. And here's the kick. It's high. Much longer this time. Houston will field it at the 7. Kiki Houston to the 10, to the 15. He's tackled at that point. Good coverage by the Oakland Patriots. Stop is made by Chad Falmer, and it'll be a flag now going down on the play. And we might have an unsportsmanlike conduct call against, well, we'll have to see. They're pointing towards the Patriots. The official comes over and says, dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct against the Oakland Patriots. That'll be 15 yards, so that'll help the Wildcat cause. It'll be 1st and 10 as they step the penalty yardage off.
Well, David, there was somewhat of a late hit. It didn't appear to be flagrant. One of the guys came in and kind of slid and hit a knee on, it looks like on Kiki Houston's helmet, but that wasn't that flagrant. But going back, you look at what mistakes will do for you. Oak Ridge fumbles the punt on the kickoff on the punt, and then on the next play they score on a bomb. So two mistakes and you're down 7-zip.
Up to the line, Jared Tharpe hands it off to Kiki Houston, looking for a hole, and finds nothing. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Exactly 4:25 to play in the first quarter. 7-0. The Oakland Patriots on top of the Wildcats. Jim Watson having a little trouble getting up, and they're going to have to bring the trainers out on the field. And while time is halted for a second, let's take a quick break. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Back here at Laverne High School, the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats and the Oakland Patriots, 7-0. Oakland on top, and the injured Wildcat Jim Watson being assisted off the field by the team doctor, Dr. Cletus McMahon, and David Wright, the trainer. The Wildcats struggling at this point offensively. Oakland doing an excellent job on the wing tee. Well,
they really are, David. Oak Ridge has struggled. Of course, this is only, I guess, their 2nd series, maybe 3rd series, and haven't really put a whole lot together. But the game's still a whole lot to game to be played. Your hearts go out for Jim Watson, who I know he missed a lot of last season with a knee injury. Being a senior, hopefully that young man's okay.
From the 32-yard line, Tharpe will pass, crisp pass complete to Nick Crow at the 40, up to the 45-yard line. That's a 1st down. They're basically daring Oak Ridge to throw the ball. They're going to stop the run and dare Oak Ridge to pass.
Well, that's what, and Oak Ridge, of course, they've got 3 great quarterbacks, got a ton of receivers. So, if they're going to do that, you have to take what they give you and throw the little quick outs, or of course, we saw that seam route so many times last week. So they may be putting the ball up in the air quite a bit.
5-man front for the Oakland Patriots. 1st and 10 Wildcats. The ball at the Oak Ridge 46-yard line. 7-0. Handoff goes to Adams. Adams just plows forward for a gain of 4 or 5 yards. That was just hard running that time. Getting a block from number 79, Chris Layton, 6'1", 238-pounder. Brings the ball to the 48-yard line. Be a gain of 5. 2nd down, 5 yards to go. 3 minutes, 30 seconds to play in the first quarter. Here from Laverne High School. Nick Crow is a receiver here to the near side. Up to the line. The wing to the right is Kiki Houston. Backfield split, Adams and Harris. Jared will pass. Pass is complete again. And Nick Crow makes a move. Cuts across the 45 and then driven down and backwards at around the 44. That's close to an Oak Ridge 1st down. That's 2 receptions. And Nick Crow is extremely pleased about that effort. They put the ball officially down inside Patriot territory at around the 47-yard line. It looks like it's about a yard short of a 1st down on the sticks. It's so close they might have to bring the chains across the field to measure, and that is the case. The Wildcats, they're just giving him that short pass there, and that was a crisp pass that time for Jared Tharpe, and he's very close to another Oak Ridge 1st down.
It was, like you said, if they're going to give that to you all night, we'll take it all night. Of course, there's other pass patterns. They've got the bootlegs coming off that are very safe, high percentage pass plays. So this may be a little bit different game plan, but you got to do what the defense tells you to do.
The Wildcats 2-0 coming into this ball game. The Oakland Patriots are 2-0. Oak Ridge is 1-3 all time against the Oakland Patriots. The last time Oak Ridge beat Oakland was the season opener back in 1991. The last time the two teams played, the season opener of 1992. As indeed it's going to be 3rd down facing the Wildcats. 3rd down and just probably the length of a football, not even that far for a 1st down. So the Wildcats faced with a 3rd down and less than a yard to go. Exactly 2:52 to play in the first quarter. A long bomb, basically after a fumble, has given the Patriots the lead, 7-0. Here comes Oak Ridge to the line once again. The quarterback, Jared Tharpe, under center. As the ball is placed down, the chains are put into position. The Wildcats with the tailback, Greg Adams, getting a chance to play the first time since the Sevier County ball game. Tharpe looking at a 5-man front, a nose guard right in front of him, but he sneaks right past him and picks up that 1st down as he brings the ball to the 44-yard line. This is the true 50 defense here with the nose guard, the tackles, and the guards. 5 men on the line, and Jared just sneaks the ball forward behind the blocking of his center, Greg Woofter, to pick up the 1st down at the Patriot 44-yard line.
David, on a play like that, you just look at the defense. You just, on a 1st down, you're trying to get 1 yard or so. The quarterback looks where the nose guard is. If he's shaded to one side, you go the other. You just take a cheek and go the other way.
Here comes Oak Ridge to the line, 1st and 10. Quarterback hands it off to Kiki Houston, looking for a hole and finding very little yardage, maybe 2 or 3. Very impressed early on with this Patriot defense against the run. There's just no place to go for the Wildcat backs. Kiki might have gained 2 on the play. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. 2 minutes to play. We're in the first quarter. Oakland on top, 7-0. Play comes in from the sideline from Joe Gaddis, the head coach of the Wildcats. Brought in through Nick Crow, the receiver. The Wildcats to the line. Drifting to the far right will go Nick Crow as a receiver. Up to the line, Oak Ridge, double wing set once again. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. In motion will come Harris. And there's some movement on the line of scrimmage. We're going to have a 5-yard step off against Oak Ridge. Now we have dueling bands up here. Unfortunately, we're awful close to the Oakland band. That's going to be a 5-yard step off against Oak Ridge. Scott, in the first 2 ball games, penalties and turnovers haven't been factors at all for the Wildcats, and Oak Ridge has already been hurt by both here tonight.
Absolutely. You know, you look at I guess they had a couple penalties. Here's another one. The fumble on the punt, of course, has so far been the big play of the game. And, you know, like you said, they scored on a bomb in the next play after that. So it's been very detrimental to the Oak Ridge team so far.
2nd down, about 13 yards to go. Single receiver to the right. Once again, Jared Tharpe brings him up from the Oakland 47. Plenty of time across the way. The pass is incomplete. Boy, Kiki Houston had come wide open right in the middle of the field. Very similar to the play where Tyler Harris has been making receptions the last 2 weeks. The pass is incomplete. That would have been a 1st down. And the way Kiki in open field moves could have gone a lot farther than that. It'll be 3rd down, 12 yards to go.
Well, it's just a hair high. Actually, I thought he kind of knocked it up, and I thought he was going to come back down with it, but couldn't get his hands on. That's that little seam route that Oak Ridge was very successful with last week, and I'm sure it's not the last time we'll see that tonight.
Once again, the Wildcats, 3rd down and long. It'll be Tharpe back to pass. Comes back across the field to Houston, makes a move. Has to make 3 more moves. He's going to get a 1st down. He will not. Brings the ball to around the 43-yard line. Gains 5 or 6, but not much more than that. It'll be 4th down again facing the Wildcats. And once again, Daniel Wetzel will come out on the field to punt the ball away. So the Wildcats struggling to get any offense going. Penalties and turnovers have already cost the Wildcats. And Wetzel will be punting from his own 45. They'll send... Let's see, their man back at around the 10-yard line. From my vantage point, I can't exactly see the number, but Wetzel will punt. Here's the snap by Matt Hudson. Here's the punt by Wetzel. He gets into this one. It's going to go into the end zone unless it takes an incredible bounce, and it does. It'll be a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 for Oakland. The ball at the 20-yard line. They lead it 7-0 with 38 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Well, he did get into that with David. The snap was a little bit off to his right when he came through. Hit a good punt. Unfortunately, a little bit too good, and it sails into the end zone. Oak Ridge time. You know, it's time for the defense to do something. And with 38 seconds left to go in the quarter, looks like you've got everybody that started on the defense, David.
With the exception of Drew Walker, who's now in the secondary for the Wildcats, along with Massey back there, Chanson Hall, and Gary Alexander. It'll be, let's see, the Patriots to the line. 1st down, 10 yards to go, I formation. Their quarterback hands it off to the tailback, who finds running room across the 25 up to the 30-yard line. Gain of about 8 on the play before Joey Mingy makes a stop right at the 30-yard line. It'll be close to a 1st down. He needed to get to the 30, obviously, and they're going to say it's 1st and 10, and the clock will move on the movement of the chains as there's 25 seconds to play in the first quarter. The Patriots of Oakland High School on top of the Wildcats, 7-0. Ball's at the 30. Oakland moving from left to right. Quickly they come to the line. Single receiver to the far left is Desmond Rhodes up to the line of scrimmage once again. 1st down, handoff tailback, about a yard. Not much more than that as the first quarter comes to a close. So our score from Laverne High School here on AM 1290 WATO and Tennessee Cablevision Channel 12. It's the Patriots 7 and the Wildcats nothing. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Back here at Laverne High School on AM 1290 WATO and Tennessee Cablevision Channel 12. The Wildcats trailing 7-0 to the Oakland Patriots. The second quarter about to get set. Oakland comes back out on the field wearing their blue jerseys with red numerals with white trim. The Wildcats in their white jerseys, cardinal pants and cardinal numerals. They're moving now from right to left as the second quarter gets underway. They have it second down, 9 yards to go. The ball at their own 30-yard line. Knight, the quarterback, to the tailback. Boom! He's knocked behind the line of scrimmage by Gary Alexander. It'll be a loss of about 4 on the play.
Well, I tell you what, I love to watch Gary Alexander play. He seems to make the big hits day in and day out. He does it on offense, he can do it on defense. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him on the offense on the next series.
11:42 to play and counting. Third down and 12 yards to go. The Wildcats had stopped the Patriots inside the 10-yard line, forcing them to punt. The Wildcats did punt. The punt return man fumbled it. And then one play later, Oakland was in the end zone. They lead it 7-0. 11:25 to play first half. Here comes Oakland to the line. Third down, 12 yards to go. Single receiver here to the near side, Desmond Rhodes. Knight at quarterback. I formation. Back to pass, looking at pressure, running for his life. John Jordan in pursuit, goes across the middle to a wide open man at the 50, complete. 45 to the 40, down the sideline and tackled by Joey Mingy and Drew Walker. Wide open and around the 45-yard line. First and 10. Great athletic play by their quarterback as he rolled with everybody coming at him, and he's able to complete the pass on the run. First and 10, Oakland.
That was a good play, David. He just rolled way deep to his left. Had a couple people going deep. The tight end just kind of slid in, kind of in the intermediate area, and once he got the ball, turned the ball upfield and ran for another 15 or so yards. So that's a big play for them.
Up to the line will come Oakland once again. Receivers to the left and to the right. I formation. Quarterback Robbie Knight under center. He's a junior. 4 men on the line for the Wildcats. First and 10. Quarterback running to his right. Tackled. Must have been a busted play. He loses yards. Billy Shipley along with the Wildcats' Greg Woofter there for the stop. It'll be a loss of 2. Second down, 12 yards to go. 10:41 to play in the first half. The ball is in Oak Ridge territory. The ball at the 37-yard line, where it'll be second down and 12 yards to go. David Clary, Scott Munger, Chris Boyd, along with Matt Tedford, David Dahl, Philip Leander, and our engineer back at the station is Nathan Forbes. Up to the line once again, Oakland. The ball at the Oak Ridge 37. Second down, 12. 10-15 and counting. I formation once again, single receiver to the right. Knight hands it to the tailback. He runs through 2 tackles, but doesn't run through the third. He's tackled right at the 35-yard line. Split 2 Wildcat defenders, but Rocky Remine was there to make sure that he didn't go any farther. Chanson Hall up there as well, just in case, along with Joey Mingy. It'll be really no gain on the play, maybe 3 yards at most. Third down, 9 yards to go. The ball at the Wildcat 35.
So that's one of those plays where there's a big, huge hole, and then just the next time you look up, it's closed. Rocky Remine came in. I believe the running back escaped, 2 tacklers, and then Rocky Remine came in very quickly to fill that big hole.
This time they'll send 2 receivers to the far right, a single man here to the left side, and he is a giant. Number 16. They don't list his size, but he is huge. Quarterback Knight back to pass.
Screen.
Once again, setting up a little screen pass, complete to his tailback. Makes a cut across the field, breaks free and scores. He takes it close to the goal line. Actually, he goes out at around the 3. There's a flag down on the play. I don't know if it's a face mask, and I think that is the case. They set up the screen perfectly to Robert Ogletree, their fine running back, and they're inside the 10-yard line and knocking on the door for yet another score.
Well, I'll tell you what, after watching the Tennessee-UCLA game, I'm tired of watching screens. That time Oakland ran it, set it up perfectly. You could tell the quarterback kind of keeps going back and lets the defensive lineman come to him. As soon as they get to him, he just kind of flipped the ball out to the running back, and it looks like it will be a half distance to the goal as Oak Ridge has been penalized for a face mask.
I apologize. I'm being screened here as we're broadcasting from the stands. I honestly could not see where the ball carrier made it to, as we are sitting in the top row of the bleachers and kind of screened by a family of 5 here to my left that are Patriot fans, obviously. As they come to the line, the ball is at the 4-yard line. It'll be first down, goal to go for Oakland. Right now, a turnover would be nice. Hand off to Ogletree. Ogletree is hit right at the line of scrimmage. Not a lot of running room there as the Wildcats stack him up right there. It'll bring up, let's see, second down, goal to go. The ball at the 4-yard line. Thanks for tuning in AM 1290 WATO. We'll have scores of other ball games at halftime. We'll also have statistics. And at the end of the game, we'll talk to Coach Joe Gaddis. Jim Watson is back in the ball game for the Wildcats. Good to see him back in. He came out earlier. They might have actually even lost a yard on the previous play. The ball is closer to the 5 now. Second down, full house backfield. Power eye right. Knight rolling back to pass, looking into the end zone, might run, cuts it inside, hit at the goal line, takes it in and scores. What a fine athlete this young man is. Robbie Knight, their quarterback, and the Patriots lead it by a score of 13-0 with 8:29 to play in the first half.
Well, you can tell it looks like the Oak Ridge fans, the Oak Ridge bench is definitely shell-shocked right now. Plenty of time to go, still early in the second quarter. That time the quarterback Knight just rolls out, like we talked about earlier. Just rolls out, and if the receiver's there, throw it. If not, tuck it up and picked up 3 yards for the touchdown.
Chuck Akers, a 10th grader, to attempt the extra point. His first attempt almost didn't make it. 13-0 our score. 8:29 to play first half. Here's the snap, it's high, here's the kick, it's up. It looks off to the right side, doesn't look good to me, but he says it's good. It's kind of off to the right, but they have a better view than I do, so they lead at 14-0, and we'll be back to Laverne High School. Patriots 14, Oak Ridge nothing. Back in 60 seconds.
Does that goalpost look like it's leaning?
It looks like it, but maybe it's just...
I don't think so.
And we are back here at Laverne High School. The Oakland Patriots now on top of the Wildcats 14-0 here in the first half. 8:29 to play. Wildcats have struggled for any kind of offense as the Patriots prepare to kick off. Houston standing back at the 5-yard line. The Wildcats could use a fine return. Here's the kick. He hits it high. Not very long. It'll be fielded. Actually is pretty long. Houston at the 5, to the 10, to the 15, 20, 25, and he's tackled at that point. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go. Houston looked like he was going to just take the wedge and take it the full length of the field, but somebody grabbed him at the last moment, and the Oak Ridge offense will come out onto the field again. The Wildcats trying to get something going offensively, and it'll be first and 10 for the Wildcats. And once again, the quarterback will be Jared Tharpe, trying to get his team rolling. They trail 14-0. Lots of time to play here in the second quarter. 8:23 to play. The Wildcats with Chanson Hall as a receiver here to the near side. The Wildcats with a double wing set. Roc Hardin's in the ball game. The Wildcats, Tharpe rolling to his right, has some time. Here's the pass, and it's incomplete. Intended for Greg Adams, just couldn't quite hold on to it. Tried to catch it on his back and then tried to hold on to it. I think it was thrown just a little bit behind him, I guess, the way it looked. Second down, 10 yards to go.
Well, that time, David, it looks like that Adams was lined up in the fullback, or I guess the traditional tailback position, right behind the quarterback, and snuck straight through the guard center gap, and then kind of rolled out to probably right in the flats, about 5 or 7 yards deep. Not a bad throw. Adams couldn't hang on to it. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Once again, the Wildcats with Roc Hardin at one of the wing positions. The tailback is Adams. The halfback is Kiki Houston. And here's the reverse to Houston. Houston looking for a hole, 25-30. Up he goes to around the 33-yard line. It'll be short of a first down. It'll bring up third down, and it looks like about 3 yards to go as Houston gets the carry across the 30 to the 33. As I mentioned, it's about 2 yards short of a first. 7:55 and counting here in the first half. 14-0. The Oakland Patriots on top of the Wildcats. And Oak Ridge, I think, will call a timeout. Why don't we take one ourselves? We'll be back to Laverne High School in 60 seconds.
I need some points. That's a good play. I never saw.
Back here at Laverne High School, the Wildcats facing a 3rd and 2. Trying to get a first down. That would be nice. Here in the first half, the Wildcats have had a couple. They have a double wing set. Once again, Tharpe under center. Houston comes in motion. Houston gets the call. Houston will not pick up the first down. He is short by about a yard. The Wildcats will be forced to punt yet another time. The Wildcat offense will come off the field, I do believe, although I don't see any movement. So Wildcats trail 14-0. It's 4th down and less than a yard to go for a first, and now the punt team will come onto the field. 7:27 to go, and really this is going to be a big stand for the defense. The Wildcats can really ill afford to fall behind 21-0.
Absolutely, Dave. Right now you're looking at 14-point deficit. If they were to go in 17, 21 points, that's going to be a lot to make up on a very good Oakland football team.
End-over-end punt is fielded by the Patriots, and they'll take over at the Patriot 37-yard line. The stop is made by Gary Alexander once again. I thought he would have a longer return on that because it was one of those end-over-end kicks, and he fielded it, but quickly there were the Wildcats to run him out of bounds.
Well, it was a bullet punt, actually, end-over-end, got there in a hurry, but Gary Alexander and actually John Massey were both there, so very good coverage on a line drive kick like that.
Wildcats could use a break right here, maybe a turnover of some sort. Patriot teams in the past have just not done that kind of thing. They've executed perfectly. They lead 14-0. Up to the line will come Oakland. Single receiver here to the near side. I formation. Knight under center. The Wildcats stack the line of scrimmage. First down and 10. Knight will hand it off to the tailback. He runs in the secondary. He'll take it off and score. All the way down the field he goes. 20-0 our score as he takes it all the way in. Touchdown, Murfreesboro, Oakland. One play, and they take it the distance. 64 yards, and the Wildcats trail it 20-0.
David, I don't know what to say about that one. Just a straight handoff, no misdirection that much at all. And the running back's got great speed, just takes it the distance. And Oak Ridge early in this ball game is down 20 points.
6 minutes, 52 seconds to play. The Wildcats trailing, and they'll go for the extra point. Chuck Akers, a 10th grader, to attempt the extra point. 20-0 our score. It's been all Oakland, believe me. Here's the low snap. Here's the kick. It's up, and the kick this time is good. So a time on the field our score. 6:52 to play. First half, 21-0 our score. We'll be back in 60 seconds. That guy can fly. I was going to get our engineer to help him or something, but he's been out of town. Back here at Vergne High School, the Oakland Patriots to kick off to the Wildcats, and Oak Ridge finds themselves in a position they haven't been in much, in fact at all this year, trailing by 21 points with 6:52 to play in the first half, and the Wildcats will be receiving yet another kickoff. The Patriots to do the honors, and here's the kick. Line drive kick. We fielded by Houston at the goal line, and it's a touchback. He stepped 1 foot into the end zone. The Wildcats will take it at the 20. Trying to desperately get some offense going here. The Wildcats have had their running game just stuffed by the Oakland Patriots. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20.
David, I tell you, Oakland's defensive line is doing a great job, and it looks like they're just driving some of the Oak Ridge offensive linemen backwards, and the play's just kind of disorganized, and they can't get anything going at all. They're down 21 points, and there's still almost 7 minutes to go in this half.
Double wing set once again. The Wildcats with Chanson Hall as receiver. Jared Tharpe rolls to his right. Needs some time. It's breaking down. Here's the pass. Complete. Gary Alexander makes a move. 30, 35. Cuts across the field. Down he goes and then fumbles it. I think he was going to be called down. No, they're going to say it's their ball. The Wildcats turn it over again at the 40-yard line. They picked up a first down. And what has been the case not happening to the Wildcats this season, turnovers have hurt them already in this ball game, and it's great field position again for Oakland. The ball at the 41-yard line, 21-0 Oakland on top, and the Wildcats can ill afford to fall down 4 touchdowns.
Unbelievable, David. Just one of those things when it rains, it pours. That time Gary Alexander made a fantastic catch, made a couple of good moves, turned it up, looked like he was going to go have a big gator. At the very end, right when he was going down, looks like somebody came in. It was a fumble. It was right in front of us. Just another tough break for Oak Ridge.
Ball's at the Oak Ridge 41. Single receiver to the right. I formation. Knight brings them up. The Wildcats with 4 on the front. 2 linebackers. Knight will hand it to the tailback. He's hit this time by Joey Mingy right at the line of scrimmage. Rocky Remine was there as well. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. 6:29 to play. First half 21-0. The Oakland Patriots on top of the Wildcats. It'll be a loss of a yard on the play. 2nd down, 11 yards to go.
I don't see Oakland trying to throw the ball in hardly any situation right here. I think they're going to be satisfied. They're going to run it, maybe try to run some misdirection, try to get Oak Ridge off balance, but I doubt very seriously if they'll put the ball in the air.
Up to the line they'll come. The fullback is number 6, Rico Hathaway. The tailback is Robert Ogletree. The Knight at quarterback will roll to his right. Feeling a little pressure. Now might run. Now fires across the way. The pass complete. First down at the 25-yard line. That guy can roll out and throw the ball extremely well. 1st and 10 at the 25.
See what I told you? There's no way in the world they're going to throw, but they do. Rolls out to the right. Quarterback takes a deep drop, and actually when he's going toward the line of scrimmage when he throws it, you can get a lot of zip on the ball that way, and looks like they've got the ball right now on the 25-yard line. They're marching in for another score.
5 minutes, 44 seconds and counting in the first half. Plenty of time. The ball's at the 24-yard line. The Wildcats just need to make a stand here defensively. The Wildcats defensively digging in, getting set as the Patriots come to the line. The secondary is Massey, Alexander, Walker, and Chanson Hall. Knight will hand it to his fullback, who's hit and bounces off a tackle and is able to get about 2. That's Rico Hathaway carrying the ball. Second down, 8 yards to go, 5:15 and counting. Patriots of Oakland High School on top of the Wildcats, 21-0. The ball is at the 23-yard line of Oak Ridge. Nathan Forbes, our engineer, back at the station. We'll have scores of other ball games. We'll also speak to Coach Joe Gaddis at the conclusion of the game. The replay of the game can be seen on Tennessee Cablevision, Channel 12, Saturday at 12 noon. The Wildcats trailing, clock running, and they're very content to work as much time off the clock. They want to score, but they don't want to give Oak Ridge much time to do anything. As they come to the line, single receiver here to the near side, covered by Drew Walker. I formation, Knight will hand it to the tailback, who dives forward, moves the ball forward. He's short of a first down. It'll be third down and about 3 yards to go as Ogletree carries the ball forward. It'll bring up third down, more like 4 yards to go for a first down as they bring the ball inside the 20 to around the 18-yard line. You know, up 21-0 in the first half. This is 4-down territory, I would assume.
Oh, absolutely. There's no way in the world. And, you know, we've seen the guy who kicks for them doesn't appear to have a great leg. Now, the number 16, the big guy who punts and kicks off for them, I believe he's also their tight end, could possibly be their long-range kicker. But I would think, yeah, third down, and if it goes to fourth down, they'll go for it.
Third down, 3.5 yards to go. Once again, Robbie Knight, their quarterback under center, needs 3 yards for a first. The Wildcats stack the line of scrimmage. Knight under center, taking a lot of time, and then a flag goes down. That's going to be a 5-yard step off, I believe, delay of game against the Patriots, and that's a crucial mistake, and hopefully that'll help the Wildcat cause here.
Well, it really does, David. You know, it brings up a 3rd and 8 versus a 3rd and 3. So that does help Oak Ridge, especially when it gets down to 4-down territory, which we talked about earlier. We feel that Oakland will go for it on 4th down.
It's now third down and about 8 yards to go. The ball is at the 23-yard line. The play is being brought in through John Todd, a receiver. They're coached by Rick Butler, assisted by Marty Everett, LeBron Ferguson, and Donnie Webb. It'll be the Patriots. Third down, 7 yards to go. Single receiver here to the near side. I formation. 3:42 to play first half. The Oak Ridge fans across the way trying to make a little noise. Their quarterback rolling to his left. Looks, there's a wide open man. He's at the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, I think, Patriots. I don't see the signal. Is it a touchdown? I guess it is. Touchdown for Oakland. Another touchdown pass, and the Wildcats now trail it 27-0. Scott Munger.
Hard to believe, David. You know, Oak Ridge is definitely I don't know if they're asleep or if this is going to wake them up or not. That time the quarterback rolled to his left on a little bootleg action. The fullback came out in the flats, was wide open, nobody around him anywhere. Once he got the ball, turned it up, and really kind of had a sprint to the corner of the end zone.
And they'll go for the extra point here. 3:30 to play in the first half. 27-0. Murfreesboro, Oakland on top of the Oak Ridge Wildcats. And it'll be Chuck Akers to kick. The kick is up, and this time it is good. 3:30 to play, 28-0 Oakland, back in 60 seconds. $28-0 our score. The Oakland Patriots on top of the Oak Ridge Wildcats. 3:30 to play in the first half. Scott, a roughing the kicker or some kind of a personal foul penalty has been called against Oak Ridge, and they'll be kicking off. The Patriots will at the 45-yard line. The Wildcats being shut out here, and they've given up 4 scores already. Here's the kick by the Patriots. He kicks it into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. In fact, it sails into the Oak Ridge band that is warming up in the end zone. The Wildcats will start at the 20-yard line, and Oak Ridge needs some offense. They trail it by a score of 28-0. And they just need to get on the scoreboard here before the halftime. I think that'll help them, at least in terms as they go into the locker room. But as of right now, the Wildcats just being hurt by penalties and turnovers have been really important.
Well, both of them, David. You know, both penalties and turnovers, and just a lack of having any consistency at all on offense. You know, there's 3.5 minutes to go in the first half, and they really need a score. It looks like they've changed. Nope, Jared Tharpe is still in this quarterback.
First and 10, the quarterback hands it off to Houston. Houston cuts to the outside at the 35-yard line. He cuts down the field. He's pushed out of bounds at around the 37-yard line. That's an Oak Ridge First down. It took 10 seconds off the clock, and the Wildcats moved the ball forward with Kiki Houston.
That's the best play they've had so far. Actually, Kiki Houston was going in, running that little inside handoff reverse. Would have ended up going to the left side. It got kind of bunched up and actually squirted out on the right side. Made a big gain. One of the few first downs Oak Ridge has had this game.
From the 37-yard line, once again, double wing set. Adams is the tailback. In motion will come Harris. Quarterback Tharpe rolling to his left, looking to throw across the middle. There's the man. The pass is incomplete. I think he was the closest man to it was Shane Wiseman. It's incomplete. Stops the clock at 3:13 to play here in the first half. 28-0. The Oakland Patriots on top of the Oak Ridge Wildcats. The ball is at the 37-yard line. Chanson Hall brings in the play from the sideline from Joe Gaddis, head coach of Oak Ridge. The Wildcats will get Wiseman out of the game. The Wildcats come to the line. The first man to the line is the center, Greg Woofter. Chanson Hall drifts off to the left. Houston, Adams, and Harris in the backfield. Single receiver here to the left. Tharpe will roll to his right, hand it off to Houston. Houston makes a cut back inside, driven down hard at around the 42-yard line. And there's a lot of hitting and lots of pads being hit down there hard because you can look at the Patriots. This is the hardest hitting team we've played for sure. The Bearden Bulldogs and the Sevier County Smoky Bears do not even come close to the way these guys are hitting. Wildcats faced with another 3rd and long here. 3rd down and 7. 2:47 to play first half. The Wildcats bring in Matt Smith as a receiver. He'll drift off to the left side. Here to the right is Adrian Hill. The backfield's once again the same. Jared Tharpe under center from the Oak Ridge 41. Jared will pass. Pass is complete to Adrian Hill. Picks up a first down. Holds on to the ball as he brings it into Patriot territory. Tackled at the 48. 2:24 to play in the third quarter. Obviously more interested in getting a first down than getting out of bounds, and that's good because it moves the chains. The clock starts now. 2:20 to play, 1st and 10. Wildcats shuttling Roc Hardin and Nick Crow into the ball game, and time is ticking down. The ball's at the 48-yard line. Out will go Tyler Harris. Wildcats taking a lot of time getting the play in here. 2:07 to play, and here comes Oak Ridge to the line. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Crow drifts off to the left side. Jared Tharpe under center. We're down to 1:59 to play. Houston comes in motion. Tharpe will pass, might run, has running room, cuts it, and now will come out of bounds. Will stroll out of bounds at around the 48-yard line. Then a late hit is going to be called against Oakland as they hit the ball carrier Tharpe out of bounds in the back. Number 45, Mason Jones did that, and that's going to help the Wildcats. 15-yard penalty against the Patriots. 1:47 to play. They're talking about it's right in front of the Patriot bench, and now he's going to indeed signal personal foul against the Oakland Patriots.
Well, you could tell the coaches couldn't stand that with David. It was just no excuse for that. It looks like on for the Oak Ridge side that the player actually hit his own player instead of hitting Jared Tharpe, the quarterback, out of bounds. But anyway, it was late no matter what, and it's a big penalty for Oak Ridge.
The ball's at the 33-yard line. 1:47 to play in the first half. 28-0. Oakland on top of Oak Ridge. It's kind of a shell-shocked group of Wildcat fans across the way. The Wildcats trying to get something going, trying to get into the end zone here before the halftime starts. Handoff to Oak Ridge's Roc Hardin. The sophomore looking for a hole, not finding one. Only a yard gained on the play. He's tackled at the 32. 1:38 to play. Wildcats have already used, I think, one of their timeouts, so they have 2 remaining. 2nd down, 9 yards to go. 1.5 to play. The Wildcats shuttling the play in with Nick Crow. The ball's at the 32-yard line, actually between the 33 and the 32. 2nd down, 9 yards to go. The Wildcats come to the line once again. Here they come with Crow drifting off to the left side. Roc Hardin's in the ball game along with Houston and Adams. Jared Tharpe under center. 1:09 to play. Jared, quick step. Here's the pass. Incomplete. Pass interference. Pass interference is going to be called against the Oakland Patriots. Number 12. It's kind of debatable as Wardell Alsup hit the intended receiver in the back, they say, before the pass was delivered, and that's another penalty against the Oakland Patriots. And, you know, we don't have the benefit of instant replay, but that was pretty close. The Wildcats are going to be benefiting from this penalty, and it's another step off against Oakland. So they move the ball inside the 20. So the Patriots helping the Wildcat cause here as the clock is ticked down to 1:03 to play. The ball is at the 17-yard line, and Oak Ridge will come to the line. 1st down, 10 yards to go. once again after the pass interference penalty. Chanson Hall's a receiver to the left, Nick Crow to the right as the Wildcats move from left to right, 1:03 to play. Double wing set, in motion will come Harris, handoff Adams. Adams across the 15, tackled it around the 13-yard line. 2 fumbles in the ball game have resulted in scores for the Oakland Patriots. The Wildcats have the ball now at the 14-yard line, 49 seconds to play, and the Wildcats getting the play in from the sideline, but the clock is ticking down. We're down to 42 seconds and counting. The ball is at the 15-yard line. The Wildcats coming to the line, 35 seconds to go. Adrian Hill up to the line once again. Backfield split. Jared Tharpe, the quarterback, under center. Drops back to pass. The pass is incomplete. Clock ticks down to 27 seconds to play. The intended receiver was Tyler Harris. 3rd down, 7.
Well, it brings up another 3rd down and 7, 3rd down 8. Oak Ridge has been faced with them all night. They have converted on only a few of them. This is a big one here, David. And here again, now I think I know Coach Gaddis well enough that I wouldn't be surprised if this is 4-down territory for him.
28-0, trailing that big at this point in the ball game. I would agree. Not a lot of time left. The incomplete pass did stop the clock at 27 seconds to play, first half. Here come the Wildcats to the line. Double wing set once again. Adams, the tailback. Jared Tharpe will have his run to the left. Now he pitches it to the left side. The ball is caught, I believe, inside the 5-yard line. Great play by Jared Tharpe. I thought he was about to get sacked. He was able to just kind of shovel it forward. The Wildcats have it inside the 5 with 18 seconds to go. I thought he was going to be sacked, and he's very fortunate that he didn't come across the line of scrimmage. The Wildcats have it 1st and goal at the 3. Unbelievable play.
Well, it was. I think it was heads-up play too, David. Actually, as he was rolling out to his right, looked like he was going to get sacked. And then, since he's rolling to his left, he can't really throw it very well on his left. So he just pitches it with his right hand. Very heads-up play and a good catch. I'm not exactly sure who it was that caught the ball, but it was also a good catch because the receiver had to actually come back and get the ball. So big play. It looks like Oak Ridge has got the ball right at the 3-yard line, but they've only got 18 seconds to go for it.
Tyler Harris, according to Chris, was the receiver. It was hard for us to see from our vantage point here. Ball is at the 3-yard line, 18 seconds to play, 28-0. The Wildcats could use a score right here as they, I think they have maybe 1 timeout remaining. They're at the 3. The Wildcats, head coach Joe Gaddis has sent in the play to the quarterback Jared Tharpe. 18 seconds to play, 28-0 our score. Here come the Wildcats. Now Crow will come out of the contest, and the Wildcats eventually will come to the line of scrimmage.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Oak Ridge wouldn't run that quick out. That gives them a pass play. If it's incomplete, of course, the clock stops. They've got it 1st down, so they may try that even 2 or even 3 times, try their luck. They've had success with it earlier. I guess they've actually completed 3, maybe even 4 times. So wouldn't be surprised if I'd see that little quick out again.
28-0. The Wildcats trailing. Here come the Patriots, and now a timeout is asked for by Oakland. So why don't we just take one ourselves? 28-0. Back in 30 seconds. Back here at Laverne High School on AM 1290 WATO and Tennessee Cablevision Channel 12. The replay of the game can be seen at 12 noon on Channel 12. Wildcats have the ball at the Patriot 3-yard line, trailing, Scott, 28-0 with 18 seconds to play in the first half.
Well, we've talked about so far, David, turnovers, penalties have really been awful. I guess, and then one long play, a couple passes. Oak Ridge is just, they've not looked sharp, and this is a good football team. So, you can't afford to lay the ball on the ground and not look sharp against a good football team, and they're down 28 points, and hopefully they'll cut it to at least get 7 points on the board right here.
The Oakland fans coming to their feet as the Wildcats come to the line. Only 18 seconds to play in the first half. Quarterback Jared Tharpe under center from the 3-yard line. Tharpe will hand it off to Adams, who Adams moves the ball forward for a gain of about a yard. The Wildcats call their final timeout, stopping the clock with 11 seconds to play in the first half, and Adams brings the ball to around the 2-yard line, and the Wildcats are fumbling the ball, and I didn't see it, and the Wildcats turn it over. So Oak Ridge turns it over, and with 11 seconds to play, a very long delay while they, I guess, undid the pile, and a fumble on the play, and the Wildcats turn it over, and that's the 3rd fumble of the ball game.
David, that's one I never ever saw. Matter of fact, I was looking to see how much time to think about what Oak Ridge was going to do, and all of a sudden, one of the players comes up and got the ball and they give it to him. I don't know if it's one of those when you're on the bottom of the pile and yank it out or what, but I guess it doesn't matter. They giving him the ball.
First down. 10 yards to go, 11 seconds, and you would assume that Knight will just down it, and he does, and that'll be the final play of the first half. What can you say, Scott? The Wildcats have come to Vergne High School, and right now they trail it 28-0 to the 2-0 Oakland Patriot team. The Wildcats trailing, and they head to the locker room with a lot of talk. I guess, what do you say when you're in the locker room? You're down 28 points. If they score 28.5, you know that you can do the same, but Wildcats, the big kids, are going to have to hold on to the ball. They're just going to have to play some better defense as the Oak Ridge band strolls out onto the field here. Scott?
I'm shell-shocked, David. I would have never thought that we'd be down 28 points at going into halftime. I don't know when the last time that Oak Ridge has been down like that, but they've got some weapons. They've got several people who can go the distance, they've got a good football team, so they're going to have to regroup if they're going to make a game out of this.
Let's take a break and send it back to Nathan Forbes back in the studios of AM 1290 WATO. We're going to take an extended break. When we come back, Nathan will have scores of other ball games going on around the state of Tennessee, and then we'll come back and check in with Chris Boyd's statistics, and we'll get to all that and more following this 3-minute timeout. And third down, 10:30 and counting in this third quarter. 28-0 Oakland. Knight back to pass, feeling some pressure. Here's the pass, complete, but a great open field tackle by the Wildcats. Wildcats stopping right at the line of scrimmage. Big play by Oak Ridge.
Well, it was, David. I'm not sure. I believe it was Billy Shipley right there. Did a great job of staying. He stayed right with the tight end. It was either a tight end screen or maybe a little run back screen. The one they had a big play earlier, and Billy Shipley stayed right there with them and made a great open field tackle. Actually, for a loss of about 3 or 4.
Tyler Harris back to receive the punt for the Wildcats at around the 45-yard line. 4th down and 12. Good snap. Here's the punt. End over end rolling punt. Will bounce and take a great Oakland bounce inside the 40 all the way down to around the 37-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 Oak Ridge. And the Oak Ridge offense will come onto the field trailing 28-0. Hats off to the defense on that series. Now the Wildcat offense needs to get things rolling.
Well, they were ready to play definitely in that second half. And Coach, we've talked game in and game out about Coach Lucier and how he adjusts to things. I don't know, what the coach has said to him, but they definitely ready to play. Now it's the offense's turn.
Chanson Hall to the near side as a receiver. The Wildcats with Adams, Houston, and Harris. Tharpe back to pass, feeling pressure, now running, cuts the ball across for a 5-yard gain, a 10-yard gain. He's hit right around the first down marker. We'll have to see if it's indeed 10 yards as Tharpe carries the ball, perhaps for 9 yards. It'll be short of the first down. Well, I don't know. It's right there at the sticks. They're looking at right in front of the Oak Ridge bench there. They stretch the chains, and it is going to be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. So Tharpe picks up 10 yards on the first down play. He moves the ball to the 48-yard line of the Wildcats.
I'll tell you what, there you look at the Oak Ridge's bench, and there sure is a lot of fight there, David. They're jumping up and down, patting each other. They don't think they're out of this ball game, and Oak Ridge's offense at least run one play and got 1 first down. It's a good start.
That's the Oak Ridge band playing across the field there. The Wildcats start 1st and 10. Back to pass. Here it comes. The pass is complete to Crow at the 45 to the 40. Crow down to the 35, down to the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
It's a nice throw, nice catch that time, David. Jared Tharpe just takes about 3 steps down, 3 steps back, and then Nick Crow comes across a little quick post route, hits the seam, and big gain. Another first down for Oak Ridge, and the ball's on the 32-yard line.
The Wildcats shuttling players in and out. The quarterback, Jared Tharpe, has moved the ball to the team to the 32-yard line with a throw to Crow. Chanson Hall drifts over to the right side of the Wildcats with Harris, Houston, and Adams in the backfield. Tharpe under center, drops back to pass again. Looks to throw, there's the man. The pass is complete to Chanson Hall. He breaks the tackle to the 25. Down he goes to the 23. It's another Oak Ridge first down.
Very good looking play, David. That time, I believe it was Kiki Houston from his wing back slot, excuse me, it's hard to say. It comes out and runs a little out. Jared Tharpe sees him. Timeout. It looks like Oakland's taking a timeout. We'll take one ourselves. We'll be back in 60 seconds. This goes wing bat.
Hey, Nathan. Back here at Vergne High School, the Wildcats. First down, 10 yards to go at the Patriot 21. Tharpe will pass, pumps once, goes to the end zone. There's Nick Crow. Here's the pass. Incomplete. Nearly intercepted by the Oakland Patriots. And it'll be second down, 10 yards to go. The clock is stopped now, 8:24 to play. I guess the thinking, Coach Butler calling timeout, as the Wildcats had crisply moved the ball down the field, and he called a timeout. His team up 28-0. I'm sure he said, guys, you know, this game's not over. They need to play some defense. It's second down and 10.
Well, he did, and actually, I don't know if we could see it, but he called everybody that was not on the field, everybody except the defense, and had them come down on the bench and have them take one knee, and then he talked to them. So it's the first time I think I've ever seen that.
Tharpe rolls to his right. Here's the pass, complete. They're not going to get any yardage out of it, maybe a yard at most. It's just a little quick pass over to, looks like Houston. Might have gained a yard, not much more than that. The Wildcats really third down and 10 yards to go, make it third down and 9. The ball is right at the 20-yard line. Oak Ridge trying to get on the scoreboard here. The clock is stopped at 8:18 to play in the third quarter. It's been all Oakland. They lead it 28-0. Wildcats faced with another third and long play. Backfield split, Crow to the right, Chanson Hall to the left. Jared Tharpe, the quarterback under center, goes back to pass. Here's the man across the way, complete to Hall at the 5. Chanson Hall, first down, goal to go for the Wildcats at that point.
Boy, it's a great pass that time, David. Great catch. Just they ran the outside receiver runs that quick little post, and actually he goes down about 3 or 4 yards, and he kind of cuts at about a 45-degree angle across the field, and Jared Tharpe just takes 3 steps, hits him in stride. Big first down. Looks like they've got the ball right at the 6. Looks like the 5 or 6 yard line from here, Dave.
Yeah, officially I think it's going to be the 6-yard line. The Wildcats trailing 28-0 inside the 10 yet another time. Hand off Greg Adams. Adams to the 3-yard line. Powers all the way down to the 2. Fine run that time by Greg Adams. The Wildcats, the first running play, I do believe, perhaps, of the second half. They've moved the ball inside the 5. They officially put it down at the 3. The Wildcats fumbled it at the 3-yard line at the close of the first half. The Wildcats knocking on the door. 7.5 minutes to play third quarter, trailing 28-0. The play comes in from the sideline. Jared Tharpe comes to the line. The first man there is the center, Greg Wolfster. The Wildcats, second down, goal to go at the 2-yard line. Jared Tharpe under center will hand it off to Adams, looking for a hole, and he's found it. He strolls into the end zone, but no signal. The whistles now blow. I thought he made it to the goal line. Evidently, it's going to be third down and goal to go at the 1-yard line. I thought there was no way in the world he's going to be denied there. Obviously, the ball is right inches away from the goal line. 6:55 and counting.
Well, there was a big hole, and it looked like he got in there, David. Obviously, he didn't. It didn't look like the coaches seemed to be too upset. But third and 1, obviously 4-down territory from here.
Inches away from the goal line, third down, goal to go, 28-0. The Wildcats trailing, and play is halted once again. An official's timeout as an equipment problem, I do believe, or something out on the field, something. Stop the clock. The officials stop it momentarily at 6:39 to play in the third quarter. And once again, Oak Ridge quarterback Jared Tharpe getting ready with his team, inches away from perhaps their first score of the night. Adams is the tailback, Tharpe under center. Tharpe sneaks the ball forward and is going to be denied, I believe, the goal line. The Wildcats will have it fourth down. Goal to go at the 1. No place to go that time for Jared Tharpe. And the Oakland Patriot fans rise to their feet once again. It's fourth down and less than a yard to go for a first.
Well, I tell you, they ran the quarterback sneak, and Jared Tharpe was stood up on his initial burst, but then it looks like he had enough, kind of spun off, or didn't spin, but just kind of moved off and had, looked like from here had enough for the touchdown, but it's right on the goal line, and wouldn't be surprised if another quarterback sneak.
6 minutes to play and counting. We're under 6 minutes now. 28-0 our score. We're in the third quarter. Tharpe under center, rolls it to the left side, gives it into Houston, who takes it into the end zone and scores. Touchdown, Oak Ridge. The Wildcats take it in with Kiki Houston coming through the left side, and Oak Ridge is on the board at 5:49 to play in the third quarter, and they trail it by a score of 28-6, and Daniel Wetzel will enter the game to attempt the extra point.
You know, when you're down like this, David, these extra points are very critical too. You've got to hit all your touchdowns, and you've got to get the extra points as well.
To hold will be, I believe, Drew Walker. The Wildcats trailing 28-6. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick by Wetzel. It's up, and it is good. The time on the field, our score, 5:49 to play, third quarter, 28-7. Oakland back in 60 seconds. Back here at Vergne High School, Daniel Wetzel to kick off. Another long drive kick will sail into the end zone and out of the end zone once again. Not a lot of height on it, but a lot of distance, and it'll be 1st and 10 again, the Patriots at the 20-yard line.
Well, it was a great drive. I believe it was a 10-play drive, and they actually had thrown the ball up until probably the first 6 plays or so, and then tried to run it in. Almost, was almost denied there. Gutsy call, I think, by the Oak Ridge coaching staff to come back with the little sweep or the end handoff, if you will, for the touchdown.
Now the key is the defense needs to hold once again. Keep the Patriots shut out here in the second half and get the Wildcats back into it. They trail now by 3 scores. It's 28-7. Robbie Knight at quarterback from the eye. He drops back to pass, has some time, now running. He's in trouble. Going back, he dumps it out. The pass is complete somehow, and they'll gain about a yard, but he was about to be sacked for a loss of 10 or 15 yards. He's able to complete it to Ogletree, and the good news about it, he goes out of bounds and it stops the clock. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
I'm not exactly sure how he even got that ball off there. There was 3 or 4 people on him, and they just threw the ball and actually threw it over the head of the running back and had to catch it over his head. Luckily, he didn't get his teeth knocked out by doing that, but I guess they actually lost a yard on the completion.
Ball's at the 19-yard line, 28-7. Murfreesboro, Oakland on top of Oak Ridge. Up to the line they'll come. I formation. Receiver, single receiver here to the near side. Knight hands it off to the tailback Ogletree. He breaks a tackle, then goes right down at the line of scrimmage. The Wildcats stop him. At the line of scrimmage, it'll be Rocky Remine and Billy Shipley there for the stop. It's now 3rd down and 10. So the Wildcats doing a good job defensively. And now, once again, if you hold them here, the Wildcats will get the ball back and they should get decent field position. But we've seen Knight direct his offense all night long. When it seems like it's 3rd down and forever, he's able to pick up a big play. And let's see what the Wildcat defense can do to try to deny him a 3rd down conversion. 5:05 and counting, 28-7, Oakland on top. Receivers to the left and to the right. Knight, their quarterback, he's only a junior. He's a good runner and throws the ball extremely well. He drops back to pass. He's in trouble, running for his life. He fires the pass. It's incomplete. And the Wildcats hold once again, and they're going to get the ball right back as Knight, that time, got a lot of pressure from a host of Wildcats chasing him down. And we'll just have to see here. The Wildcats will get Tyler Harris back again at the 50, so the defense coming alive here.
Well, they really have. And actually, Tyler Harris is going out. Looks like they're putting Kiki Houston back deep. Oak Ridge, the first 2 series of the second half have been 3 plays and out, so great job by the defense.
Here's the punt. It's away. Oh, he got into this one. Kiki will field it at the 45, needs a block. Cuts to his left and goes down right around midfield. It'll be Oak Ridge 1st and 10. The ball around 49-yard line, so a short field for the Wildcats. 4:35 to play, and the Wildcat offense will come onto the field once again, trailing 28-7 in this one here from Vergne High School in Middle Tennessee. Our next broadcast of varsity football will be this coming Friday night as the Wildcats are at home against the Clinton Dragons.
Tell you what, David, if their punter ever actually just really gets one to turn over, it's no telling how far he can punt. He's about 6'4", looks like he's about 6'5" maybe. And I tell you, he's kicked the ball well, but he's never, they're wobbly. And if he ever gets a spiral and the one to turn over, he'd probably kick one about 80 yards.
Here comes Jared Tharpe back to pass. Comes across the field to a man. It's Kiki Houston. Houston at the 50. Cuts to the right and goes down at around the 46-yard line. Gain of 5 or 6 yards or so on the play. It'll be with 4:29 to play. 2nd down and 5 yards to go. The ball is around the 45-yard line. Wildcats shuttling players in. Chanson Hall comes in. The quarterback is Jared Tharpe. 4 minutes and counting in the third quarter. 28-7, Oakland on top. Up to the line will come Tharpe once again. Backfield split. Single receiver to the right. Tharpe will pass. Here's the quick pass. It's complete to Chanson Hall. Chanson goes out of bounds, and it stops the clock after the Wildcats pick up a first down.
So that quick out they used so successfully in the first half, David. Jared Tharpe just takes about 3 steps, and then just a quick little out. Good catch by Chanson Hall. Moves the chains. First down, Oak Ridge.
3 minutes, 50 seconds to play in the third quarter. The ball's at the 38-yard line. The ball is resting right at the 38. First and 10 Wildcats. Chanson got out of bounds. 3:50 to play, third quarter. 28-7 the score. Roc Hardin's in the ball game. Tharpe goes down the middle. Pass is complete to Crow. Crow's inside the 25. Brings the ball to the 22-yard line. Tharpe is really doing a good job connecting with his receivers.
He has had he had a good first half, but he is having an outstanding second half so far, David. That time is that little post route they've been so successful with. Bullet pass in there, probably the hardest ball that we've seen him throw. Good play.
The ball is inside the 25, as I mentioned, right at the 23. 3.5 minutes to play. Third quarter, 28-7 the score. Tharpe under center. Once again back to pass. Looking to his right, goes to the man, and it's picked off at the 10-yard line. Down the sideline, 20, 25, and out of bounds he goes. So excellent play that time by their defensive back. Anticipated the pass perfectly, put a little air on it there, and it was picked off.
I'll tell you, it's not a bad pass, actually, David. He just never saw the free safety. The free safety wasn't any fake to make him do anything. The free safety's just waiting back there. Had to go up and get it, but a fine play by the defensive back. Not the worst pass in the world for Jared Tharpe.
3:17 to play, third quarter. 28-7 our score. The Wildcats trailing the Oakland Patriots here at Vergne High School. The Wildcats have turned the ball over twice now inside the 25-yard line. Let's see what the defense can do. They've had 2 excellent series here in the second half to start the second half. Knight at quarterback from the eye. Will hand it to Ogletree. Ogletree tries to get to the outside, and he is tackled after a gain of about 4 or 5. He is a strong runner. He's got a lot of speed. The Wildcats stop him, and he stays in bounds. It'll be second down and about 5.
He is a good one, David. Doesn't look to be that big. Matter of fact, he looks like he's the shortest guy on that offense. It looks like he's low, has a low center of gravity, spins, turns, and he's got great quickness. But he's a good very good running back.
It'll be second down, 5 yards to go. 2:47 and counting in the third quarter. 28-7. The Patriots on top. Oakland won the last meeting back in 1992. That game was played at Blankenship Field. Second down, 5. Once again, a single receiver here to the near side. 4 men on the line. Hand off to Ogletree. Ogletree is buried. No gain. At around the 32-yard line. The Wildcats coming alive defensively there. Billy Shipley along with Travis Whitson to make the stop. It'll be a loss of a yard. Third down and 5.5 yards to go. 2:17 to play, third quarter. Nathan Forbes is our engineer back at the station. We'll be speaking to him a little bit later on. He'll have his highlight show and scores of other ball games. We'll look at the final statistics, and I'll speak to Joe Gaddis, head coach of the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats. That's coming up at the conclusion of the ball game. Minute 58 and counting here from Vergne High School. Third down, 6 yards to go. Now they call their second timeout. Do the Oakland Patriots. Let's take one ourselves. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Back here at Vergne High School on AM 1290 WATO and Tennessee Cablevision Channel 12. Third down and 6 for the Patriots. Ball at their own 32-yard line. 1 minute 51 seconds to play in the third quarter. Knight will roll to his right. He's going to be in trouble. He gets away from the first tackler, goes down the field. The pass is underthrown, incomplete. Great play by that quarterback. He avoided what was going to be a sack, and if he had gotten anything on his throw to number 3, John Todd, they would have had a first down, but instead they have to punt.
Well, they would have had more than a first down. Actually, if he would have had anything on his throw, there was nobody. I mean, there wasn't anybody within 20 yards of this receiver. The quarterback did a fantastic job. I thought it looked like from here it's a sure sack. And actually, 2 guys from Oak Ridge had a chance to get him. He escapes it, but on the good hand, it brings up a fourth down, and they're punting the ball.
3 series, and they haven't been able to move the ball. Here comes the punt. It's away. A line drive kick, a fair catch. Signal for and made by Kiki Houston at the 35-yard line, and that's where the Wildcats will take over first and 10. And I don't know, I think something's wrong with the clock. I guess it's, as it reads, 11:43, and correct me if I'm wrong, Evidently, there is a problem with the electric clock here, and they're going to have to reset it. There was just about a minute 30 or so left in the third quarter, but now they have a problem with it. The Wildcats started at this drive at the 35-yard line, trailing 28-7. Turnovers and penalties hurt the Wildcats in the first half. The Wildcats defense has really rallied here in the second half. They've had the ball 3 times, and they haven't been able to move the ball at all.
Exactly, David. I don't think they've had a first down in the second half. Maybe one. I don't think they even had one. But the defense looked very strong so far in the second half. Now it's time for the offense to get some things going. They're going to have to score. And David, then I guess you have to start thinking about when do you want to start going for an onside kick and that kind of thing. If they score on this drive, I think it'd be a little premature for that.
A minute 43 to play. That's what they put up on the scoreboard. That's how much time is left here in the third quarter. The Wildcats have had the ball inside the 5-yard line to close out the first half, but they turned the ball over on a fumble. They had the ball inside the 25-yard line just a moment ago and turned the ball over. So the Wildcats have had a couple of opportunities go by the board with turnovers. You just have to, on the road against a good team like this, you just have to play near perfect football, and the Wildcats just really haven't. The defense is looking good here in the second half. Tharpe back to pass once again, rolling to his right. Pass is complete to Kiki Houston. He brings the ball to around the 40-yard line, gains about 3 or so on the play. Did not get out of bounds. It stops the clock with a minute 33 to play in the third quarter.
I don't believe he got out of bounds, David. The clock's still going. Nice little roll out. The quick little flat opener. You see that play right there running a lot on the goal line, but Oak Ridge picked up about 5.5 yards.
Once again, the Wildcats to the line. A minute 18 to play. Third quarter, 28-7 the score. Up to the line, Oak Ridge. Tharpe will pass. Quick little pass, intending it for Tyler Harris. And it's incomplete. Third down, 5 yards to go. Stops the clock with a minute 10 to play in this third quarter. The ball is at the 41-yard line of the Wildcats. Oak Ridge moving from right to left here as they play in the third quarter. Patriots have led since the first quarter. They scored with about halfway through the first quarter, and they've had big plays in this game, and as I mentioned, a lot of them resulting after turnovers for the Wildcats. Big third down play for Oak Ridge, a minute 10 to play, trailing 28-7. Tharpe needs 5 for a first. Back to pass. Down the field. There's Roc Hardin wide open. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Roc Hardin 10, 5. Touchdown Oak Ridge. Roc Hardin on the reception takes it in and scores with 59 seconds to play in the third quarter, and the Wildcats trail it 28-13.
Tell you what, that was a great throw, great catch, good call. Oak Ridge, actually, the inside receiver, Roc Hardin, runs it out and up. They fake the post route. Jared Tharpe pumps the ball, and then to the guy running on the post, and it hits Roc Hardin going down the sideline for the big 6 points.
28-13. The Wildcats will go for the extra point. So the Wildcats have cut the lead in half if he can nail this extra point. Here's the low snap. Here's the kick by Wetzel up, and it is good. The time on the field, our score. 59 seconds to play in the third quarter. 28-14 Oakland, and we'll be back in 60 seconds. We just scored down here. It's tie game.
Yeah, we need a turnover.
Back here at Laverne High School, 28-14. The Patriots on top. The Wildcats have rallied for 2 scores here in the third quarter. Wetzel drills it again, deep into the end zone. Once again, that's 3 consecutive touchback kicks, and he hasn't just barely got him into the end zone, Scott. He has nailed them.
He really has. He's had a very good night. And tell you what, David, I think it's time for Oakland to maybe try something a little different. I wouldn't be surprised if they may hit the panic button just a hair, and I think they'll start putting the ball up in the air. I'd say you'll look for that screen, the quick out, something that's pretty safe, but I think they're going to start airing it out a little bit more.
Wildcats trailing now 28-14, 59 seconds to play in the third quarter. So they've put 2 scores on the board. The defense has done their job, has stopped the Patriots cold on 3 drives. First and 10, Oakland. Let's see what they can do with their single receiver here to the near side. High formation. Robbie Knight, their quarterback, rolling back to pass. Looking down the field, the pass incomplete. Defending out there was Billy Shipley. The pass was intended for number 16, Brent Robinson. 5 seconds tick off the clock. We're down to 54 seconds to play in the third quarter. It's second down, 10 yards to go. The Oakland band trying to rally their team and fans here to our right. The Oak Ridge band across the way beginning to make a little noise. The Oak Ridge fans have seen the Wildcats score 2 times here in the third quarter to cut the lead in half. The Wildcats trailing 28-14. The defense has been outstanding here in the second half.
Outstanding, David, is a great word for it. No first downs, as far as I know, in the entire third quarter. The big change from that first half.
Ogletree in the backfield along with Hathaway. Handoff goes to Ogletree. Ogletree looking for a hole. Cuts up the field. Gains about 5. It'll be third down. 5 yards to go. 45 seconds to play here in the third quarter. The Wildcats trailing 28-14. It'll be closer to third down and 3 yards. So a bigger gain for Ogletree than I had originally thought. 34 seconds and counting. They've already used 2 of their timeouts in this game. And they're taking a little while to get the play in as the clock ticks down. We're down to 25 seconds and counting. Players shuttling in and out of the game. This is a big play, I think, in the ball game as well for the Oakland Patriots. We're down to 17 seconds and counting. Third down and 3, and they've taken forever to get the play in. Let's see what they can do. They need 3 for a first. We're down to 10 seconds. 9, 8. Quarterback Knight back to pass. Setting up the screen pass. The pass is incomplete. 2 seconds on the clock. Wildcats got pressure on it once again on the quarterback. 2 seconds to play. Fourth down and 3. And for the fourth time in the second half, the Wildcat defense is held, and the Patriots will be forced to punt, and the Wildcats will get an opportunity here with 2 seconds to play in the third quarter.
What an exciting game so far, David. The third quarter has been all Oak Ridge, really. We kind of thought they were down and out, but they come up here and score on this drive, on this or whatever. You've got a 1-touchdown ball game.
And here's the punt by the Patriots. He shanks it off the side of his foot. It comes off to the left side and rolls out of bounds around midfield as the third quarter comes to a close. The Wildcats will start at the 50. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Philip Leander and Matt Tedford are here. The Wildcats have closed the gap. They've cut the Oakland lead to 14. It's 28-14. The Wildcat fans across the way doing the wave as the Wildcats have it first and 10 at the 50-yard line, the opening play of the fourth quarter. Wildcat quarterback Jared Tharpe approaching 200 yards passing. Here's the misdirection play to Kiki Houston. The Wildcats lose yardage. The loss of a yard in the play. Second down and 11. 11:53 to play in the game. 28-14 our score.
Well, what a great third quarter that Jared Tharpe had. I'm not exactly sure of his yardage he had, but I can only remember 1 or maybe 2 incompletions, if that many. Just put the ball right where it's supposed to have been. That ball in the touchdown pass to Roc Hardin was incredible. It had a great third quarter.
Hardin along with Kiki Houston. It's Houston in motion. Tharpe will roll back to pass, feeling some pressure. The pass is complete. Greg Adams moves the ball to the 40-yard line. It's close to another Oak Ridge first down. That time the tailback, Greg Adams, was able to hold on to it, and he puts the ball down about a half a yard short of the first. 11-12 to play in the ball game. It'll be third down, less than a yard to go for a first. The Wildcats trailing 28-14 here from Laverne High School. They trailed 28-0, and they're trying to get back and at least tie this ball game. They have plenty of time to do it. They scored twice in the third quarter. The defense has been outstanding here in the second half. Jared Tharpe at the 41-yard line of the Patriots. Under center, sneaks the ball forward and picks up the first down. So the Wildcats pick the first down up with Jared Tharpe running behind his center, Greg Woofter, and the Wildcats have it first and 10. Chris Boyd working on the statistics here. It's been a totally different second half as compared to the first. The Wildcats had all kinds of trouble just moving the ball at all. The Wildcats have moved the ball crisply down the field here in the second half, and the Patriots haven't been able to move the ball. 10:30 to play in the game. First and 10 Wildcats at the 38-yard line of Oakland. Backfield from the wing tee. Tharpe will pass. Here's the man, Chanson Hall. Breaks a tackle. He's at the 30. 25-20. Chanson Hall, 10, 5. Touchdown! No, he's out at the 1-yard line. The Wildcats have moved the ball down to the 1 by the passing of Jared Tharpe, that time to Chanson Hall, and he brings the ball down to the 1-yard line where it'll be first and goal for the Wildcats.
It's a great play after Chanson Hall, after he got the ball, David. He made the little head waggle to the inside. The defensive back went to the inside. He spun around to the outside, went down the sideline. Right at the very end of the play, somebody just tripped him up just a little bit in order for him not to score. But what a difference, what a different ball game this thing is now.
Jared Tharpe under center from the 1. He rolls to his right. He dives. Is he taken in? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Oak Ridge. The Wildcats have scored with 10:13 to play in the ball game. And just like that, the Wildcats have closed the gap to 28-20 here at Laverne High School. If you picked up your radio or if you turned off your radio thinking this game was over, think again. The Wildcats are right back in it, trailing 28-20, and Daniel Wetzel will attempt his 3rd extra point of the second half. Drew Walker to hold. Here's the snap. It's high. Here's the kick by Wetzel. He boots it up, and it is good. So time of the field, our score. 10:13 to play in the ball game. Oakland leads 28-21, and we'll be back in 60 seconds.
I'm going to have to go to the bathroom.
Defense has looked great here in the second half. We should be winning right now. We should be up. That's almost approaching the school record. Make sure it's right there. Back here at Laverne High School, Daniel Wetzel hits another high kick driving to the 1-yard line. It bounces at the 1, and it'll be a touchback. So yet another time, Daniel Wetzel has not allowed any return yardage for the Patriots. Oak Ridge trails only by a touchdown and an extra point. 10-12 to play in the ball game. Lots of time. Patriots haven't gotten anything going here in the second half. They've had the ball 4 times. They've yet to pick up a first down in the second half. They have an outstanding tailback and an outstanding quarterback, and let's see what they can do. It's now 28-21. The Patriots on top of the Wildcats as they start this drive at the 20. Up to the line will come Murfreesboro, Oakland. 2 receivers to the right. Robbie Knight, their quarterback. Ogletree, the tailback. The Wildcats with 4 on the front. Quarterback hands it off Ogletree. Ogletree blasted at the line of scrimmage. No place to go. It'll be second down, 10 yards to go. As the Oak Ridge fans getting fired up across the way. The Patriots have seen Oak Ridge score 3 times here in the second half to pull to within 1 touchdown and an extra point. 28-21 the score. No gain on the previous play. It'll bring up second down, 10 yards to go. Rick Butler is the head coach of the Oakland Patriots. He sends in the play through Desmond Rhodes, the receiver, as they'll give it to the huddle, and here to the line will come the Patriots. 9:35 and counting in the ball game. First down, 10 yards to go for Oakland. The ball at the 20-yard line. Single receiver here to the near side is Wardell Alsup. Single man, actually 2 receivers to the right, a single running back. Knight under center. The Wildcats get set on defense. Knight rolls. He pitches to the tailback. He's going to be hit in the backfield. He's running backwards at the 10. He's going to be blasted down at the 5-yard line. Big loss. Big play for the Wildcat defense all the way back to the 5-yard line, and the Patriots falling apart here in the second half. They've lost monstrous yardage. Back to the 7-yard line. It'll be third down and 23 yards to go. And the Wildcats team, which was trailing 28-0 at the half, perhaps just moments away from getting the ball back again. It's third down, 23 yards to go, 8:41 to play in the ball game, and Robbie Knight and the Patriots operating from the 7-yard line, their own. He's an outstanding playmaker. They haven't had the big plays. He drops back to pass. Now will run. He'll not get a first down. He's blasted at the 10. They'll punt the ball away again, and they'll give it back to Oak Ridge. The Wildcats hold once again. It'll be fourth down and 20 yards to go.
What a great job by this defense, David. I tell you what, the second half they were without a first down. The the second down play. Great pursuit by everybody this time here. Great pursuit. What an exciting game. Looks like Kiki Houston's back. It hit about the 45-yard line or so.
They'll be punting from the end zone here. Wildcats don't need a roughing call as Massey gets in quickly. He gets a short punt. It's going to bounce and take a good bounce, and it'll be picked up by Houston and downed at around the 44-yard line of the Wildcats. So Oak Ridge, 7 minutes and 46 seconds left in the ball game will start over the ball at their own 44-yard line. The Oak Ridge fans coming to their feet. Here come the Oakland fans once again on their feet. Wildcats trailing 28-21.
I'm going to be a soothsayer here, David. I believe if Oak Ridge marches down the field, scores a touchdown, to me there's no doubt in my mind that Gaddis goes for 2.
The Wildcats starting this drive at the 44-yard line. Jared Tharpe approaching school record numbers passing to the football tonight here at Vergne High School. The Wildcats up to the line. Here comes Tharpe under center Greg Woofter. Backfield split. Tharpe will pass. Pumps once. Goes down. The ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Well, David, that time they had some penetration. Big number 73 for the Raiders came in, Scott Spenauer, and just batted the ball down. Looks like, I believe it was Nick Crow, ran the out and up, just couldn't get the ball to him. Good defensive play that time by the Raiders.
What an outstanding ball game here. The Wildcats look dead in the water in the first half. Patriots can't get anything going here in the second half. 28-21, they still lead. Double wing set. Roc Hardin, Houston and Adams in the backfield. Jared Tharpe rolling to his left. Needs some time. Here's the pass. Incomplete. Intending it for Greg Adams. The Wildcats now faced with 3rd and 10. And now the Patriot defense coming rising to the occasion here. It'll be 3rd down, 10 yards to go. And Tharpe, who's been wonderful throughout the course of the game. As I mentioned, he is approaching school record numbers here, and we're going to check on those here in a second. Over 200 yards passing in the ball game. We'll check those officially at the end of the game. 3rd down, 10, 7:35 to play in the ball game. The Wildcats need 10. Here comes the whole team coming in. The pass is incomplete. Great defensive call that time. They brought everybody in. Tharpe couldn't get rid of the ball in time. It falls incomplete, and that's the first time they've stopped Oak Ridge, with the exception, I guess, of that interception here in the second half.
Well, it is the first time the Oak Ridge has had the punt. That time, David, I believe they had some type of a stunt. Number 41, it looks like Chad Falmer came in to actually hit the quarterback's hands as he was throwing it. But Oak Ridge, there's still plenty of time in this ball game.
Here's the punt by Daniel Wetzel. He gets it away. The quarterback, Knight, is back to receive the kick. It's going to roll dead inside the 20-yard line at the 19. That's where the Patriots will take over 1st and 10. If you're Murfreesboro, you just want to have a long drive right here, put it in the end zone and put it away. The Wildcats have not given up a first down to the Patriots here in the second half. There's only 7:21 to play in the game. Murfreesboro, Oakland on top of Oak Ridge, 28-21. The ball's at the 18-yard line. The big plays that they had in the first half just not materializing here in the second. Robbie Knight, junior quarterback, directing his team with Ogletree at tailback. The fullback is Rico Hathaway. The Oak Ridge defense has been superb here in the second half. 1st and 10. Knight will hand it off to Ogletree. Ogletree tries to get to the corner, breaks free and goes 30, 35, 40. Driven out of bounds finally at around the 47-yard line. That is their first down of the second half, and it couldn't have come at a better time for the Patriots. 1st and 10.
Well, you're right, David. It really couldn't. They really needed to get something. And there goes your field position on one play. But great job. You knew that he had the great speed, and actually I believe it was Massey who pushed him out, or he could have gone a little bit further than that. So tough luck for Oak Ridge, but with 7:12 left to go in the game, there's still a lot of possibilities.
He goes out of bounds. It stops the clock at 7:12 to play in the ball game. 28-21. The Wildcats trailing. I formation, single receiver, 5 on the line. Knight hands it off to his fullback, Hathaway. Hathaway gains 2 or 3 yards before he's tackled by Oak Ridge's Billy Shipley, Travis Whitson, and Joey Mingy. It'll be only maybe 2 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8. 6:57 to play in this ball game. The Wildcats down 28-7. This is David Clary, Scott Munger, Chris Boyd, David Dahl, Philip Leander, and Matt Tedford. The ball is just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The Patriots will take as much time as they possibly can. They want to score, obviously, but they want to just keep the clock moving. They've used 2 of their timeouts. The Wildcats have all of theirs left. Knight will hand it off to Ogletree. Ogletree breaks 3 tackles and doesn't break the 3rd. He's driven out of bounds. No, he stays in bounds. The clock stays moving at the 50-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 6 yards to go, and who knows, this could be the play of the ball game, Scott.
Well, it could be. Oak Ridge is going to have to get the ball back with some time on the clock, and think about say if they do hold them here and they punt. It looks like Oak Ridge is going to start off with some bad field position. I guess if you look at things normally, so barring a long run back or something like that. But big play right here, 3rd and it looks like about 6.5 to 7 yards.
28-21. The Patriots on top of for the Wildcats here. 5:52 and counting in the ball game. Third down, a long 6 to go for a first. Knight back to pass, rolling to his left. He's in trouble. He's sacked at the 43-yard line, and he goes out of bounds, which stops the clock at 5:40 to play. The Wildcats came in hard, and they drop him for a big loss.
Well, I tell you, big Greg Wolfter was in there, David, from his defensive end spot. I don't believe, I'm not sure if Jim Watson's still playing there. He may have taken it over for him since he is a little bit hobbled, but big play and a lost yard, a loss of a lot of ground too. So big number 16 comes in the punt.
Brent Robinson to do the honors. 9 guys on the line. High snap, but he's tall. He punts it away. Long spiraling kick. Kiki Houston's going to watch it bounce inside the 15 and roll all the way down to the 10. Wildcats will have 90 yards to drive in 5 minutes and 29 seconds to see if they can tie, and perhaps if they go for a 2, win this ball game. The Wildcats have been able to move the ball consistently through the air here in the second half. The Patriots have picked up but 1 first down the entire second half, but they still lead it 28-21. To have that touchdown or potential touchdown at the end of the first half.
Well, like you said, David, that is what a huge play. Looking back, in retrospect, it's obviously we're looking at having a tie game with Oak Ridge maybe marching here to go ahead, but that didn't happen. Can't talk about that now. They've still got 5.5 minutes to make 7 points.
Jared Tharpe has gone all the way at quarterback. The Wildcats. Junior hands it off to Eric Alexander. Alexander moves the ball to around the 19-yard line. That is close to a first down. It'll be short by about, I don't know, a yard or so. It'll be 2nd and 1, 5:15 and counting. Gary Alexander in at the tailback position.
He's quick, David. I think Oak Ridge likes him in there because he's got great breakaway speed. He does a lot of things. He gets you some yards when really there's not a whole lot there. He's a playmaker.
5 minutes to play in the ball game. Under 5 minutes now. Second down, a long yard to go. The ball just shy of the Wildcat 20. Jared Tharpe with the double wing set. Once again, the junior quarterback, and there's movement across the line of scrimmage by the Patriots. That's going to cost them 5 yards, and that's going to give Oak Ridge a first down.
Well, David, I'm not too exactly sure who moved. I know there was somebody for Oak Ridge. It looked like they moved too. Let's see who this is going to be on. Looks like the Patriots are moving that way, so it may be on them.
We're down to 4 minutes and 48 seconds to play in the ball game. The Wildcats trailing 28-7. The Wildcats were down 28-0 at the half. They're trying to move the ball the full length of the field. They started this drive at the 10. A penalty has given them a first down at the 24-yard line. The Wildcats, with not a lot of time, still enough time to get down the field. 4 minutes and 42 seconds to play, but the Wildcats kind of slow getting to the line of scrimmage as Nick Crow is a receiver. He'll come out of the ball game. The Wildcats come up with, once again, 2 receivers to the left and to the right. Tharpe will pass across the way. Pass intended for Adrian Hill is incomplete. Stops the clock at 4:26 to play. Second down and 10.
There's that quick little post route that they've run so great this whole game, David. Looks like Jared Tharpe just had just a little bit too much on it, actually led him just a little bit too much. Not a whole lot of chance for Adrian Hill to catch that, but brings up 2nd down and 10.
28-7 our score. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge on top, or trailing, I'm sorry. I wish they were on top, but that's not the case. 4:26 to play in the game. Second down, 10 yards to go. Houston in motion. Here's the handoff to Gary Alexander. Gary Alexander keeps his legs driving, only gets to the 30. It'll be 3rd down and about 5 yards to go. So Wildcats faced with another big 3rd down conversion. It's 3rd down and 5. 4 minutes, 12 seconds to play in the ball game. The Wildcats short of the first, trailing 28-21. Need 5 for a first down. We're under 4 minutes to play in the ball game, and Jared Tharpe and the Wildcats come quickly to the line of scrimmage, which is their own 30. Tharpe under center. Receivers left and right. In motion will go Houston. Tharpe rolling to his right, will run. Needs a blocker. He's at the 30. First down run as he brings the ball across the 35-yard line. And the first down is complete on the run by Tharpe. We're down to 3:44 to play. The Wildcats not moving down the field quickly here, but they have picked up another first down. The clock is stopped. 3:44 to play. 1st and 10 Wildcats at their own 38.
It's another heads-up play by Tharpe, David. It was there. He only needed about 4.5 yards. Saw it, went ahead and ran it, and this is a fantastic finish to really a pretty good football game, especially the second half.
28-21, the Patriots on top. 1st and 10, Wildcats. Adrian Hill is a receiver here to the near side. Looks like Chanson Hall to the far left. Tharpe will pass, pumps once. Here's the pass complete to Roc Hardin. Roc Hardin 45 to the 40 to the 35, and he breaks free. He'll go! There he goes! Touchdown Oak Ridge! The Wildcats score! Roc Hardin takes it down the field, and Oak Ridge with one extra point away from tying this ball game, or will they go for two? I would go ahead and kick it.
I don't know, David. I know Coach Gaddis is so aggressive. But I tell you, going back to this touchdown play, Roc Hardin catches the ball, but the heads-up play was number 2. Chanson Hall made a great block. Really didn't have to do anything but just shield the defensive player and let Roc Hardin get by. So a great assist by Chanson Hall. Great play, Roc Hardin. And looks like Oak Ridge will tie it up right here. They're going for one.
28-27 the score. The Wildcats have scored 27 unanswered points. Drew Walker, the sophomore, to hold. Here's the kick. It's up, and it is good. We're all tied. 28-28 the score. The Patriots have blown a 28-point halftime lead. The Wildcats have tied the ball game with 3 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the ball game, and like the Oak Ridge fans were so stunned back in the first half, the Patriot fans are sitting silent in their stands here on this side. Still plenty of time to go as the Oak Ridge Wildcat students running with the Oak Ridge fan right in front of the homestand, and they're being pelted by things on this side. 28 unanswered points, still 3:30 to play. What an effort by the Oak Ridge defense. What a great effort by Jared Tharpe, who has to be approaching, I think he's got the school record in passing tonight.
Well, I'm not exactly sure what it is, but he's played an outstanding game. Had a good first half, but this second half he has come along and just played I mean, I can think of one pass that he'd probably like to have over. Other than that, everything's been great. You know, this ball game is not over. Oak Ridge still, and it can come back and maybe try to get a field goal or something to win this. And Oakland, I believe, only has one timeout left.
And here's Daniel Wetzel to kick off once again. He once again hits a line drive. It's going to go all the way down to the 5, roll inside to the 3. It's going to go to the 1. He's going to pick it up in there. Ogletree, boom, big stick at the 9-yard line. And that's where they'll take over. First down, 10 yards to go. 3:25 to play. They have 90 yards to drive. That was a 90-yard drive. The Wildcats tie the ball game with 3:25 to play. 28-28 the score.
Well, David, I wouldn't be too sure if Oak Ridge would start using some timeouts. If they maybe run a couple plays, especially maybe getting down to a 3rd down, so they can get some time on the clock to start calling it maybe one timeout. But this defense has just come to play in the second half, and now they're starting off on their own inside their own 10-yard line.
What a great ball game if you're an Oak Ridge fan. What a great second half. 28-28 the score. Robbie Knight under center. He drops back to pass, hands it off to Ogletree. Boom! He's knocked down again. He'll lose yardage on the play. The Wildcats all over him once again. Joey Mingy, I believe, along with a host of other Wildcats.
Well, you know, Joey Mingy, Shane Wiseman, Greg Woofter, Travis Whitson, these guys have played a great second half. They've come to play, and now, you know, really, Oakland is really struggling right now.
They've only picked up 1 first down in the entire second half of this ball game, when in the first half they could do no wrong. They have the ball at their own 7-yard line. Second down, 11 yards to go. We're down to 2:51 to play in the game. 28-28 the score. I formation once again. Single receiver to the right. Robbie Knight under center. The Wildcats with 5 on the line. Knight under center will hand it to his fullback, who's blasted again at the line of scrimmage. The Wildcats watching the Patriots just run conservative play after conservative play, and it's cost them here in the second half. We're down to 2:28 and counting. It'll be 3rd down and 11 yards to go.
But this is the play right here, David. Of course, you know, we got 11 yards to go. I wouldn't be surprised. I was really kind of surprised that Oak Ridge didn't call a timeout that time to get the ball back, save some clock. But, you know, if barring a first down here, Oak Ridge is going to get the ball with, you know, maybe 1:45 or so to play in this ball game to hopefully get a field goal to try to win it.
What a great ball game. We're down to the 2-minute mark. We're all tied at 28. 3rd down, 11. Knight back to pass. He's in trouble. Breaks a tackle. Now he fires one. The pass is incomplete. They'll have to punt. 1:52 to play. He almost was sacked for a safety.
Can you believe that, David? He was so close to being sacked for a safety. And can you imagine? I've never seen a game that would end or something on a safety, but it was very, very close. Now, you know, what it looks like Kiki Houston is going to line up about the 45-yard line, so maybe 2 or 3 plays we're inside field goal range.
What an unbelievable turn of events here at Vergne High School. The Wildcats were trailing 28-0 at the half. They have tied the ball game at 28, and they'll have the ball back here in a second. The big punter for the Oakland Patriots, Brent Robinson, will be punting from his own end zone. Kiki Houston standing back at the 45-yard line. The Oak Ridge band and the fans across the way making lots of noise. Here's the snap. Here's the punt. It's high, but it's short. It'll take a bounce up the field, and the Wildcats will have about 50 yards, a little bit beyond 50 yards to drive to win this ball game. They'll start the drive at the Oakland Patriot 48-yard line. 1:40 to play in the ball game. The way Daniel Wetzel has been kicking tonight, you feel that pretty good about the chances of a long field goal. The Wildcats want to get 6.
Well, they do want to get 6, David. I'm sure they'll settle for 3. Looks like they'd probably have to go about 25 or so yards in order to be in field goal range.
28-28 the score. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Jared Tharpe, we unofficially have him over 300 yards. Here's a pass complete and a fumble, and it's going to be an incomplete pass. Well, that would have been disastrous for the Wildcats. Oakland fans thought it was a catch and a fumble, but no call. It's going to be just an incomplete pass. Remember, if the Wildcats are unable to score, overtime would take place in high school ball. You have 4 plays from the 10-yard line, and each team gets that opportunity. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. The ball at the 48-yard line of the Patriots. 1:34 to play in the game. We're all tied. 28-28 the score. Adrian Hill drifts off to the right side wide. Chanson Hall to the left. The backfield. Quarterback Jared Tharpe will pass to Adrian Hill, complete. And he gets out of bounds at around the 47-yard line of the Oakland Patriots. It'll be 3rd down and about 5. 1:29 to play.
Well, that's all they need to do right there, David. They've got plenty of time. It looks like he didn't get a very good mark. It looks like he picked up about right at 5-yard lines. Now they may be giving them maybe 6. Big play right here, of course. Now here, if they don't get it, David, you kick it, or do you try to go for it here or what?
Boy, it's hard, right? This part of the field, I think you have to punt the ball away and just try to back them up. 1:29 to go. Hopefully, Tharpe and company will get the 1st down, and we won't have to worry about it. Roc Hardin's in the ball game. Jared will pass. Quick pass to Chanson Hall. He can't make the catch. Boy, that would have been a 1st down. He just couldn't quite hold on to it. 1:26 to play. I think you've got to punt the ball, Scott. I think you can't take a chance in the middle part of the field, although they haven't been able to move the ball, but I would much rather take my chances with backing them up inside the 20.
I tell you what, Coach Gaddis is a very aggressive coach. I'd say he may call a timeout here. It looks like he's going to, but it looks like he's going to go for it, and I think they will. They may go with that. They are going to call a timeout. We'll take one ourselves. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Okay, and we're back here at Vergne High School. What a great game. We've got 1:26 seconds to go in this ball game. Oak Ridge has the ball 4th and 4 on the Vergne 47-yard line. The score is tied up 28-28. Decision time for Coach Gaddis. The offense is on the field. Looks like they will be going for the 1st down. And a very, very exciting game, David.
Scott, I just looked up the school record for passing. It's 237 yards passing with Dave Moore doing that. Chris has got him well over 300 yards, so unofficially a new school record in passing for Jared Tharpe here tonight. The ball's at the 48-yard line. 4th down, 4 yards to go. 1:26 to play in the ball game, and the Wildcats indeed going for it on 1st down, 3rd down, 4th down, and 4. Everybody on their feet. Jared Tharpe under center. They only put 4 on the line. Tharpe under center. Houston comes in motion. 4th down and 5. They're trying to get him to jump off sides. I think that's the call. And now the Wildcats use their final timeout, and now I believe they'll have to punt. Try to get him to jump off sides, and they are penalized as well. It'll be 4th down and 10, so the Patriots are going to get the ball back. The Wildcats will punt as Wetzel comes into the ball game, and they'll have 1:26 after they receive the punt to get the ball down the field. Number 11, Robbie Knight, their quarterback, back to receive the punt, standing back at the 10. Wetzel has been unbelievable tonight, and they'll have everybody, 10 guys on the line. Here's the snap. It's terrible. He pulls it down, though, and gets the punt off. It's partially blocked, and it's going to take a very good roll for the Wildcats all the way down to the 29. we're very fortunate just in the fact that he was able to get that snap. And they'll start the drive at the 29-yard line. They have 1:14 to win this ball game.
Well, thank goodness, David. I tell you what, I had visions of that thing rolling down to about the 20-yard line. But actually, what a great play by Wetzel just to get his hands on it and get the ball out of there. But they'll have 72 yards, it looks like, to go with 1:14 to go.
What an exciting ball game. 28-28 the score. The ball is at the 28-yard line. 1:14 to play in the game. 1st and 10. Robbie Knight, they had big plays throughout the first half. Ogletree still at tailback. He's back to pass. Looking down the field, will run. Gets good yardage. Cuts to the outside, but he's tackled in the open field nicely at the 31-yard line by, it looks like, I can't quite see the number, Billy Shipley. Gain of 3. 2nd down, 7 yards to go. 57 seconds and counting. They only have 1 timeout left. The ball's at the 32-yard line of the Patriots.
David, I doubt if they throw the ball here. I think they're ready to go into this game, going into overtime. If he throws the ball, I would say somebody's going to have to be awfully wide open for him to let loose one.
42 seconds and counting, and they're taking a while to get the play in. The ball is at the 32-yard line. 28-28 the score. It was 28-0 Oakland. At the half, the Wildcats have scored 28 unanswered points in the second half. 2nd down and 7. I formation. He is back to pass. Setting up what appears to be a screen. The pass is complete, and then down the sideline, he's going to get about 3 yards, not much more than that. We're down to 19 seconds to play. And, you know, honestly, looking at it, the Wildcats have done most of this through the air, moving the ball. They haven't been able to move the ball that much on the ground. You put the ball down at the 10-yard line, kind of makes it a short field in the overtime period. So, you know, it's kind of hard to figure exactly how that's going to work. We're still 19 seconds away from overtime. The Wildcats and the Patriots, 28-28 the score.
But then again, look, and that, is it the 10, or I thought they started now at like the 25 or something like that. Do they start? They back it up a little bit more, don't they?
Have they changed the rules?
I was thinking they start from the 25. Maybe that's college. I don't know, or at least the 50. I was thinking you could get a 1st down.
3rd down, 5 yards to go. It looks like they're just going to fall on it. And he's going to hand it off. The other quarterback's going to run it, and he breaks free. He's going to be tackled, though, at around the 44-yard line. He came so close and taking that ball the entire length of the field, which would have ended the ball game. It's instead going to be just a 1st down run. We're down to 13 seconds to go, and the Patriots call their final timeout. I would just throw it up down the field and hope.
Well, I would too. And, you know, I was kind of surprised that Oak Ridge didn't have somebody in deep center field. Maybe put Chanson Hall back there. You know, just put him back there about the 25-yard line just in case some kind of fluky play happens. It is. Now, what do you do here? You know, you got 1st and down 10, about the 10, with 13 seconds left. Are you happy just going into the overtime, or do you try to throw it deep and maybe try the Hail Mary, which I believe that's what they'll probably do. What an exciting game. And I tell you what, I apologize to anybody. At one point at halftime, I counted these Oak Ridge this Oak Ridge team out, and I apologize to every single one of them.
What a great defensive second half of the Wildcats, and what a great offensive comeback for the Wildcats when they couldn't get anything going in the first half. Oh, to have that one little fumble there at the end of the first half back, or we might not even be concerning ourselves about an overtime. But the Wildcats find themselves tied, and as Scott, you say, you know, halftime, never would have thought it. 28-28 the score. 13 seconds to play in regulation. The Wildcats and the Oakland Patriots here at Laverne High School in a classic game. One of the biggest, most exciting comebacks I've ever seen.
Well, you know, not even that. You know, I guess on Oak Ridge's second possession of the half, David, you know, Jared threw an interception down there on about the 10 or 12-yard line. So, you know, what if? But you know, of course, a lot of things change. His turnovers are big. And here again, here comes the Hail Mary. I'm surprised that Oak Ridge didn't have somebody in deep center field.
Knight back to pass, looking down the field. Here comes some pressure. He gets away from one man, then he's sacked. Puts the ball down on the ground with 6 seconds to play. The Wildcats throw it the Hail Mary, and regulation ends. We go to overtime here at Laverne High School, all tied up at 28-28. What an exciting second half of football. The Wildcats outstanding defensive plays The last time, let's see, the last time we had an overtime ball game, I think it probably was that Farragut ball game back in '94. Was that it?
That's my first game doing this with you, Dave. I believe I can't remember another overtime game. You know, of Coach Gaddis, we said, you know, is very aggressive when it comes to these overtime games. Now looking back, I thought he would go for two, but good thing he didn't, because I think overtime is much more suited. Oakland has not ran the ball at all, has not moved the ball at all. Oak Ridge has got some good things going. The defense looks very strong.
I'll talk to the captains in just a minute. What we've got to do right here is just be calm. We win the toss, we're going to play defense. We're going to stop them. And then when we get the ball on offense, we're going to win the game. Now, let's keep them from scoring. Let's keep them from scoring for sure. If something happens by some freak of nature and they score, we will score, go for two, and still we're going to win the game. So
I'm looking for maybe a keep or something like that, or a bootleg where he's going to keep the ball out there on first down. If they get down inside the 5, I'm looking for the flood. They like to throw the flood down in there. So we got to make sure we get the back out and don't let the tight end sneak behind us. A robber down in there in the back.
Back here at Laverne High School on AM 1290 WATO, the Wildcats of Oak Ridge and the Oakland Patriots. Oakland had a 28-0 lead at the half. The Wildcats came back behind the strong arm throwing of Jared Tharpe, and unofficially we have him with a new school record passing tonight. And we'll get verification on that when we can. The previous record was 237 yards passing. Dave Moore back in the early 70s. Jared Tharpe, Chris has him with over 300 yards. As the Oak Ridge team is fired up across the way. And, you know, look at the Oak Ridge team and compare it to the Patriot team. They're a team that was up 28-0, and now they're kind of sitting back and hoping they can just hold on and somehow pull this one out again.
Well, you also look at the difference in the crowds. The Oak Ridge crowd's up, screaming. This crowd over here, I mean, you can hear it. I mean, there's nobody doing a thing. I think they go to the middle and have a coin toss, and then do you know exactly what they're going to be doing?
I believe it's still, I think it's still the same rules. You start at the 10-yard line. You have 4 plays to get in. The Wildcats, let's see, in Coach Gaddis' era, have played in overtime, I think, 3 times, and I think all 3 games have been against Farragut 4 times, if you count the Central ball game. That was an overtime ball game, won by the Wildcats on the block extra point, but I think the other games, I think, against Farragut. I think 2 against Farragut and 1 against Central. I have the scores here in front of me. I guess I could have easily looked them up, but right now, the Wildcats are thinking a win. The momentum has got to be on the Wildcats side because they were down 28-0, and now it's anybody's ball game. You kind of hate for a game like this to end with this kind of ridiculous rule where you start the ball and put the ball down at the 10-yard line. I'd just like to see them play just another quarter or something.
Well, there's, I have several, I guess, different viewpoints. To me, a tie is an outcome. I mean, that's an outcome of a game they played. In this case, it's not going to hurt either team. Oak Ridge, a tie right now is great, but of course I'll take a win over a loss. I think going back, I know they played 91. They played against Central in an overtime game. Coach Gaddis' first game here, if I'm not mistaken, was a a Farragut game in overtime that they won, and then the game in '94 against Farragut. So I know at least they're 2-1. The games that we know of that we can recall for Gaddis.
And that's the only ones that I can remember since then. I've just looked it up, and that it was the last time they played in an overtime ball game. The Oak Ridge fans, usually they don't have this much time in between. We've had 4 or 5 minutes or even more than that to get the officials set, get the 2 teams set, and the head coach of the Oakland Patriots, Rick Butler, is basically standing at around the 50-yard line right in the center of his team, almost like a post-game talk. All his players, with the exception of maybe 3, are on one knee. He's right in the middle of them. The Wildcats are just lined up from around the 30 to the 30 on the other sideline. That's the Oakland Patriot band to our right playing. The Oak Ridge band across the way is playing 28-28 the score. And we'll have overtime eventually. Out to the center of the field will go Matt Hudson for the Oakland Patriots, number 71, Chris Cisco. And they'll have the toss of the coin to determine who will get the ball first. We've seen it, and Coach Gaddis has said this many times. If he gets the ball second, If he gets the ball second, he'll go for 2. If they get the ball first and they score, he'll kick the extra point.
Well, to me, it's a big advantage to go second. And actually, it looks like they're talking to Oakland. It looks like they get the toss. I would think they would probably go second, but we'll see here in just a second. And it looks like Oak Ridge gets to pick what side of the field, and they'll go on the side of the field that they actually ended up the ball game on, which is to our immediate right.
The Wildcats will, looks like they won the toss. So, as they pointed to the shoulder of the Wildcats captain Matt Hudson. We're about to get underway here once again. Overtime from Laverne. Surely you wouldn't have expected this kind of a ball game here at Laverne High School, but we've got it. An exciting one. The Wildcats appeared to be dead in the water at 28-0 at the half and not looking good offensively or defensively. They turned it around in the second half, and now it's down to just this to see who will win this third game of the year. Both teams come in undefeated, both very good teams.
I'll tell you what, win, lose, or draw, this Oak Ridge team has grown up in the second half. There's no, I mean, they're down 28 points and they're going into overtime. So, you know, what a huge second half they've had, which may propel them, you know, through the rest of the year. They have grown up. This is still a young team. This is a very young team. You got juniors and sophomores and a lot of people contributing who's not, and you know, returning one starter. So no matter what happens, a big growing up party for the Oak Ridge Wildcats.
The Wild left and right, single running back, double wing set. Tharpe from the 10-yard line, and Tharpe will roll to his right, look into the end zone. There's the man. Touchdown, Oak Ridge! Gary Alexander on the first play. Tharpe nailed him right in the middle part of the end zone, and the Wildcats lead it by a score of 34-28.
What Jared Tharpe has been so sharp, David. There was actually two people in the end zone. Roc Hardin was open, and Gary Alexander was were both open. And what a great pass that Jared Tharpe threw in there for the touchdown with the extra point awaiting.
And Daniel Wetzel will put the tee down at the 10-yard line and go for the extra point. Oak Ridge leads it 34-28. Their first lead comes in the first overtime period. Matt Hudson to snap. Drew Walker to hold. Here's the kick by Wetzel. It's up, and it is good. Oh, it didn't look good from here, but it is splitting the uprights, and the Wildcats lead it 35-28. And now the Oakland Patriot offense will have an opportunity at the 10-yard line. The Wildcats scored in one play, a 10-yard scoring strike from Jared Tharpe to Gary Alexander.
That was very nice, I tell you, David. I can't wait to see that tomorrow on the replay. Nice touch, but not really a touch pass, though, just a firm pass, right into, perfectly thrown right into Gary Alexander's arms. Big, huge play. One of the biggest passes he'll have in his career.
Great defensive effort here in the second half by the Wildcats. They have shut out the Patriots to this point. The Wildcats on top, 35-28. Oakland will have it first and 10. First and goal, that is. Overtime period number 1 from Laverne High School. Robbie Knight with a single running back. The Wildcats with a man laid onto the field. The Wildcats pick him up. Here's the quarterback. He gets away, gets to the 3-yard line, or actually the 7-yard line, gain 3. And it'll be second down. And goal to go at the 7-yard line. Robbie Knight carries the ball for a gain of 3. The Wildcats lead it 35-28 here in overtime. It'll be the Patriots sending in the play from the sideline. Rick Butler sends it in through number 4, Jeremy Harrison. The ball's at the 7. Second down and goal to go. The Patriots have picked up but 1 first down here in the second half.
Do they not have 12 people out there, David? It looks like they've got a lot of folks.
There's some big guys down there taking up a lot of real estate. Second down, goal to go at the 7. Knight comes up, I formation, drops back to pass, in trouble, he's in trouble, he's sacked, but he gets a pass off incomplete. Gary Alexander all over Robbie Knight, and they're gonna say it's an incomplete pass. It's now third down, goal to go at the 7-yard line. I apologize for my enthusiasm. I thought he was sacked.
Well, he should have been sacked. I don't know. Now, do they get a timeout as well, David? I believe they do.
And let's see, 35-28, the Wildcats on top. 35 unanswered points by Oak Ridge here in the second half. Oakland has only picked up 1 first down in this entire second half. Here they come to the line. Third down, goal to go at the 7. Trying to get in, they have 2 more plays. Robbie Knight from the I formation. The Wildcats leading by a touchdown and an extra point. Here comes Knight under center. Back to pass. He'll run. He cuts to the goal line and he scores. Touchdown, Oakland. And they'll go for one. They'll go for the extra point to try to tie the ball game and send it into double overtime.
Well, if you'll remember, on their first 3 extra points, they were very shaky on their extra point team. They're calling the timeout. They may be thinking this over and going for 2. But actually, it's Oak Ridge that's calling the timeout.
They're going to go for one. I saw the coach hold up the one finger out there, and it wasn't the finger you're thinking, as the Wildcats will keep the defense out there. The Wildcats call the timeout. We're in overtime period number 1. The Wildcats lead it 35-34, and I'll be honest with you, Scott, I don't know that we've ever played a double overtime ball game. I remember a game years ago against Doyle back in the 70s, but I don't remember any overtime period going beyond 1.
I don't either, but I tell you, this timeout is a very smart play. You get an extra timeout, each team does. Oak Ridge doesn't need it because, you know, if they make it, if they miss it, whatever, it's either going to go into another overtime or the game's going to be over. So why not waste your timeout, or you go ahead and use it and maybe, you know, psych the kicker out a little bit. That's a big kick for him.
Now Oakland calls a timeout, so both teams using their timeouts here. 35-34, Oak Ridge on top. The last time we saw an opposing team line up for an extra point in an overtime period, semifinals, playoffs, 1991. The Central Bobcats and the Wildcats blocked it. Of course, this game doesn't mean as much as that one did. That meant a trip to the state championship ball game. This one just means a 3-0 record and just another win for the Oak Ridge Wildcats. But what a win it would be if the Wildcats could block this kick, as they trailed 28-0. They rallied to tie the ball game at 28-28. They scored on their first play in overtime, and now the Patriots will try to tie the ball game up with an extra point. And now, will they change their mind? Now they come over to talk with Coach Butler. The Wildcats on defense. The Patriots, it would appear, once again, will line it up to try to tie the ball game and send it into double overtime. 35-34 the score. The place kicker is Chuck Akers. He's a sophomore. The holder, John Todd, he's a senior. Up to the line they'll come. The sophomore, if he hits it, the game continues. If he misses it, Oak Ridge wins. Here's the snap. It's low. Here's some pressure. The kick is no good. Oak Ridge, I think, will win it. It's in. Oak Ridge wins. Oak Ridge wins. The Wildcats win the ball game, and pandemonium reigns at Laverne High School as the Wildcats in overtime have defeated the Oakland Patriots by a final score of 35-34. The kick was off to the left, and Oak Ridge has won it by 1.
Well, I tell you what, I don't understand. Great call to just call the timeout. But then, right after that, Oakland comes up and calls timeout. It just gives your kicker more time to think about it. If it's me, as soon as the timeout's over, I rush in and kick it.
Unbelievable celebration in the middle of the field by the Oak Ridge team. The Patriots, some of them down on their knees, some of them sobbing like children, as they are children. Can't believe the way this game has transpired here. The Wildcats saw a Patriot lead of 28-0 at the half, but Oak Ridge rallies, and now Coach Butler just trying to rally to get his players to shake hands with Oak Ridge. It isn't because they're poor sportsmen. They're just stunned down there. They were down on one knee, some of them just facing down in the grass as the game has come to a close on the missed kick by a sophomore, Chuck Akers, and Oak Ridge wins it 35-34 to go, 3-0.
That's devastating for them, David. Oak Ridge, I mean, what can you say about the second half? Jared Tharpe, school record, I believe he's got 3, maybe 4 touchdown passes. Looked absolutely incredible. I'm really looking forward to seeing what his final stats are. The Oak Ridge defense, my goodness, in the second half, gave up 1 first down. Of course, they gave up the touchdown, but it's only for, you know, I guess a 3-yard drive for 10 yards. But incredible adjustments made, and what a good job that this Oak Ridge defense did.
35-34 the score. Oak Ridge has won this ball game in overtime. The Wildcats are 3-0. The Patriots fall to 2-1. What an unbelievably exciting ball game. You have to feel for the Oakland Patriots because they played so well in the first half. They got very conservative in the second half, and it cost them, I think, Scott.
Well, it really did. You know, somebody else that I do not want to leave out, who I think is a huge game, Daniel Wetzel. what a great job he did punting. And then, he hits all of his extra points and really, no doubt on him. So, especially when a ball game comes down to the kicking game, to the extra points, there he is. Daniel Wetzel did a great job.
The Wildcats win the ball game in overtime, 35-34. Just think of all the people who might have turned off their radios thinking the game was over at halftime.
Well, I was talking about him. I was talking about, I guess, right at halftime, I was just wanting to make a good showing, come back and score 14 points, maybe 17, 21. I never in my wildest dreams would have thought they would come back and score 28 points and then really have a couple chances to win it. No, they had a chance to go for it, there at the end of regulation. So, of course, the Oak Ridge fans and players are still on the field. Almost every one of the Oakland players and coaches and fans.
By a final score of 35-34, and joining me now, the head coach of the Oak Ridge Wildcats, Coach Joe Gaddis. And before we talk about this ball game, Coach, your mother's listening to us from Florida, I would assume, on the hold button at deck of WATO. And before we get to the interview, you might want to say hi to her.
Well, hey, Mom. Appreciate you calling. This is kind of a tradition. She always calls and listens to the game toward the end on the radio. And this one, she may have listened the whole second half, so I know you're spending a lot of money. Go ahead and hang up, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'll get home too late to talk to you tonight, but I love you. Thanks for calling, and I'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon.
Coach, let's talk about this ball game. 35-34, the final score. A game of two halves, obviously. They came out, took the lead, 28-0. Turnovers and penalties, something that hadn't really bothered your team at all in the first two ball games, really cost you in the first half, and they capitalized. Big plays, like you said, they were capable of doing, and they led 28-0.
Well, they did, and we had some missed opportunities offensively. We had some opportunities to score, move the football. We couldn't. We either overthrew a guy that was pretty open, or we dropped a pass when we were open. We had some holes that we just didn't hit and didn't miss, or missed when we should have hit them. We missed a block or two, and really, this was one of those times, David. We talked about this Wednesday night. I think this was a time where you could sense in the pregame as a coach that we weren't quite ready, and people kept telling me that this Oakland team, if we don't come out and take charge of this game early, that they're going to get happy and be very, very tough to beat. Now, I didn't know it was going to be 28-0 at halftime, but that's kind of what happened. They got happy, they got momentum. We never could get it back. Obviously, right at the end of the half, when we needed that touchdown, I thought, to get some momentum going in right before halftime, and when we fumbled that ball on the 1-yard line going in, that could have been the ball game had we not had some character and some determination to come out and play a good second half, which thank goodness we did.
Coach, in the second half, the defense was the key. They held the Patriots to only one first down the entire second half of the ball game, which is that one big long run. They scored on big plays through the air. They had an outstanding quarterback. He was able to move the team in the first half. He ran the ball well. He threw the ball on the run well. But the defense, for your defense, was the key in the second half. Just an unbelievable showing for them. And, I don't want to take anything from the offense. They posted 35 points on the board, especially behind the throwing of Jared Tharpe. Talk about the defense first, and we'll come back to the offense.
Well, defensively, we knew we were going to have to shut them down in the second half. We didn't want them to score at all, and certainly no more than a touchdown if they did. We played very poorly on the defensive side in the first half and on the offensive side in the first half. We didn't keep the ball enough, and our defense just didn't do what we're capable of doing in the first half. They hurt us basically with two plays, and their quarterback may be great, and I don't want to take anything away from him, but I think it was just as much, if not more, our poor play and decision-making on defense in the first half as his great play. And he made some great plays, but he hadn't shown anything like this in the two games prior to this game, and I think our defense had something to do with it, or a lack of, in the first half. But in the second half, we did what we had to do on all sides of the ball. The kicking game, the offensive side, and certainly the defensive side, holding them to one first down. And I think our defense also was waiting on our offense to do something and kind of motivate them a little bit as well. So kind of self-motivational there, defense to offense and back and forth. But I'll tell you one thing I want to say before we go a bit further, talking about motivation. We're down 28-0, David, and there's not another place in this state, and I can't speak from anywhere else. We're down 28-0. Our fans they're nuts. They're berserk up there, cheering for us like we're up 28-0. And that's just unbelievable. They weren't going to allow us to get down, and if we were down, they were going to pick us up. Our crowd has a lot to do with us winning the ball game, because frankly, if I'd have been up there, I wouldn't have been booing the players, but I'd have been booing me, and I didn't hear any boos up there.
Coach, you mentioned the kicking game. Just unbelievable night for Daniel Wetzel. Time in and time out, he got you out of trouble with long punts. He kicked the ball into the end zone, I believe, every single time. I think every kick was a touchback for him. And we talked this morning, I think, of the old Patriot teams that always seem to be winning the field position battle. But tonight, it was your kicker, Daniel Wetzel, who did the job, and really big key in the second half.
He had a great game. He kicked, like you said, everyone or almost everyone in the end zone. Had some fine punts. You know, had the perfect extra points. One of them looked a little scary, but it made it. And you know, those points were big in the game when you look and see a 35-34 finale.
Roc Hardin comes in, catches two very long touchdown passes from I think 60 yards plus were the touchdown passes, and the first one was just a thing of beauty, a beautiful pass. The hardest throw, I think, to make for a quarterback is to hit a wide open man, and there was Roc wide open down there, and he went in almost untouched.
Well, I'm sure Jared feels better having done that because he missed a wide open guy or two in the preseason by a long shot, and this did him a world of good, I'm sure, to have a good night passing like this. And we had another touchdown that we should have scored. This game should never have gone to overtime. We were driving down there, and you know, in the second half, and had a pass intercepted, and then we should have scored right before the half, obviously.
Coach, let me ask you, let me put yourself in the position that Coach Butler was in. It's overtime. It's 35-34.
There's no doubt. I know the question, and the answer is I'm going for two.
No, that isn't the question.
Okay.
Do you call 2 timeouts and freeze your own kicker is what I want to know.
Obviously, they were trying to decide whether to go for 2 or not, and we called the first time out. I don't think he called 2. We called 1. He called 1. I figured he was going to call 1 to go for 2 or set up a fake or something. You know, since I brought it up, there's no doubt I'm going for 2 right there. I'm never going to lose a ball game trying to tie it in overtime. I say never. There might be a case, but probably not in my lifetime.
Coach, did you ever think about going for 2? There's 3:30 to play when you first tied the ball game. Did you think about going for 2 there?
I thought about going for 2 there, but we had enough time left. We were going to stop them. I knew that. We had enough time left to get the ball, to get a first down or 2 after stuffing them, and you know, maybe a short punt. We kick a field goal, win the ball game at the end, and I didn't really want to put us in a situation where we're down a point if we don't make the 2-point play, and you know, give them an opportunity to run the clock out on the ground. I want to keep it, I want to tie it with 3.5 minutes left and force them possibly to throw a pass, us intercept it, you know, and get the ball and go on and knock in the score.
Final score is 35-34. I think I mentioned this to you. Your quarterback, a new school record for passing yardage in a single game, almost by over 100 yards. He threw for 300, and we've got him unofficially 334. In the press box, they had him at 330, so it's a new school record.
Well, you know, that's interesting. I've got a good friend back home being Oak Ridge for sure, and he said he liked the wing tee, but the one thing he didn't like about the wing tee is you can't come from behind. You can't throw the ball out of the wing tee. And I hope he's listening right now, because obviously we did a good job. Jerry did a great job throwing the football, and you know, I'm real proud of us being able to do the things we had to do to win the game. The wing tee certainly is a running offense, but you have to be able to, just like the old wishbone, you have to be able to throw the ball out of the wishbone. You have to be able to throw the ball out of the wing tee. And I don't know that we have a lot of 300-yard passes, passing nights in us this season, but this time we needed to do that. We made the adjustments, and we got it done.
35-34 was the final score. I guess now you just turn your attention to a regional ball game. Clinton, I mean, unbelievably, it's kind of hard to think about Clinton after a big win like this, but means more. It's a regional ball game, and it's at home, and it's Clinton.
Well, you know, nothing needs to be said. It's Clinton. It's a big regional game. If it wasn't a regional game, it's still a big game because it is Clinton. And you know, we'll definitely look forward to that. I don't think we have any big injury problems. I think we came out of this game healthy. This wasn't the physical, pounding type of game the Sevier County game was. It was a completely different type of game. But we'll be ready come Monday. Our coaches will be ready over the weekend, and Monday we'll get ready for Clinton, and we'll be hopefully much more prepared emotionally and psychologically at 7:30 next Friday night than we were at 7:30 on this Friday night.
Coach, I have one more thing to say. Gary Alexander came in at tailback and really sparked you there at the end, and what a great play. The overtime touchdown, I wanted to mention that. Just a great play on everybody's. The blocking was good, the quarterback, everything worked perfectly on that play.
Well, don't know what they were looking for, but you know, obviously nothing that came out on that particular play. We executed it very well. Gary Alexander, you know, the big question, the big problem we have with Gary sometimes is he's you know, a little loose with football, as we saw in the first half, but he's got some ability to make you miss. he's a converted receiver. You know, he's a wideout that we've moved into the backfield. And, you know, when we started spreading them out and getting in our loose set with the two split ends, we wanted to get Gary in there. And if you notice in the second half, maybe in the fourth quarter, we started running the ball to him a little bit, and he can make things happen. And at this point, I thought it was a good shift from Greg Adams to Gary Alexander. Other games, it might be Greg Adams. Obviously, the Sevier County game it was. So our depth helped us out there.
Coach, I appreciate the time. Have a great trip home, and hopefully there's sound on that tape so you guys can enjoy that second half comeback.
They'll certainly enjoy the second half. They'll probably want to crawl under the bus in the first half, but they won't have the opportunity.
Coach, I appreciate it. We'll talk to you Monday morning.
Thank you.